coffee. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the unofficial transatlantic live stream, the thing that we call our anniversary stream. And it's the big three for Greg and I. And for those that don't know, I'll give a quick explanation, and then we'll kind of get right into it. Greg and I started our channels about the same time, 3 years ago. I mean, literally, not even a whole week apart. I don't even think it was a whole week. And just somehow or another, a few months later, we kind of found each other, and yeah, it's been best buds ever since. So every year, and of course, it's great. Our anniversary is right around the May the 4th weekend. Also, kind of ironically, I don't even think it was meant to happen like this, but like me and Mrs. Hive, our Mrs. Hive and I, our anniversary, wedding anniversary is this month. Greg and his wife's anniversary is this month. So the month of May is a very special month for both of us. But yeah, this anniversary stream, our third,
and May the 4th as well. May the 4th.
May the 4th, yes.
And Hive, May the 4th be with you.
Hey, and May the 4th be with you as well. Always. And also with our guests.
Indeed, we got some awesome guests.
We have Solo here with us.
Howdy.
I know. It's like, oh my goodness, man! I've seen Solo twice in a very short amount of time, and it's just so great. And also we have Tech.
Hello, how are you doing?
What's going on, Tech?
All good. Thank you for having me.
We have other guests that will be joining us at different times. But it's different time frames for a lot of people, and other people have things to do. So, in time, we'll have more guests on. Sorry, so coffee in there.
So, Hype, what are you building today? It's a bit of a special one, isn't it?
Yes. So, I think normally we build some Star Wars stuff on our anniversary stream just because it's around May the 4th. So we kind of have a Vader special going on this year. So I'm going to be building this Darth Vader bust, that Target exclusive one.
Yeah, man.
Which kind of has a funny story to it because BFAP actually has one that he's given to me, but he hasn't given it to me yet. And it's been a running joke now for quite a while because he hasn't sent it to me. It's been years. But Ninja and Mrs. Neverland sent me this as a gift. And
wow.
Yeah, I know. And I thought this was a special enough occasion to go ahead and build it. And I do believe, Greg, you've got something Vader-esque as well to build.
I bought this, I think it was like 2 years ago or something now. So I'm building Vader's castle, which is actually the first ever castle in Lego I've ever built. So it's it kills two birds with one stone. It's Star Wars, and it's technically castle as well. And what a castle it is as well. We got the Darth Vader there with his kit on and his kit off. Couple of royal guards. I love a royal guard, and you got the exclusive Imperial transport.
Yeah,
as well.
Dude, that's one I really wish I didn't let slip past me, man.
Yeah, that's a good set. And do you know what? I got it for 50% off from Amazon. They were selling it at London Bridge Station of all places for some reason.
I don't know why. I mean, I should be happy, but that makes me angry.
It's too early for a rant. So you can't get angry at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh man, I can get angry at 3 o'clock in the morning. What are you talking about? No. That's awesome though, man. And of course, it's really awesome to find like really awesome Lego sets on really good deals, clearance, or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So real quick before we get too deep into the stream, let me just go real quick and say hello to everybody that's out there. I see Oldendorf. How you doing? There's the Craigster. Happy anniversary. Thank you. Appreciate that. I see Nicole. Congratulations on the 3rd anniversary. I believe the 4th year is going to be the best one. Actually, yeah, we should make it kind of a little more extravagant. I mean, the 4th anniversary on May the 4th week would, obvious reasons. Definitely. Yeah. Mama Lego, how are you today? Thank you for being here. I see Axel out there. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I guess, yeah, that's the same. Yeah, I mean, I guess an anniversary is a birthday of sorts.
Yeah, of course it is. You got balloons and stuff like that.
Good enough. Click and Cliff, what do we have here? We have a live stream, man. How are you today, Cliff? See, hi, Brick. Hi, hello, Bricks. It's been a while. Yeah, it is been a little while. I mean, not too long. It's been a little while. I see Topic Bricks out there. What's going on? Hello. How you doing, Topic Bricks?
Good to see you, Rosie.
So Tech and Solo, do you guys have anything that you guys are building in particular today, or are you just hanging out?
Yeah, I think I thought I'd follow the Star Wars theme, and I'm going to crack over Mando's helmet.
Mando,
nice.
Mhm.
Yeah. So like the biggest thing with these is that like Mando's visor is like thinner than Boba's, but on the Lego set, it's just like the other way around. It kind of, I don't know, it seems a bit strange. I thought that they were literally going to like pretty much recolor Boba's helmet and then just add the like middle bit in, but they changed it a bit more, and I don't know if it was necessarily for the better.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's why they made it wider, so it wasn't like a like for like, perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a hot take or not, man, but I just think that helmet kind of sucks, dude.
See, all of them. You don't like any of them.
I don't even want to say it because you get ready to build it, man. I'm not trying to crap on your build. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't know. Because Boba Fett is great. I love Boba Fett's helmet. But yeah,
I still stand by the Scout Trooper's the best one.
It's a close second, man. For me, the TIE Fighter is my favorite, actually.
Okay.
But man, that Scout helmet, because I remember even as a kid, man, when I saw Return of the Jedi and stuff, man, when they're on their speeder bikes, I loved how their helmets were different than the Stormtroopers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they look cool. And it's weird because in all the films and the cartoons, they kind of they just mix all the time with the Stormtroopers, which I always find a bit odd because they're completely. I'm guessing the ranks of them are quite different and stuff like that. But they're always the cool ones, man. Because those speeder bikes when you was a kid, they were super swishable. And I've got the buildable figure of the Scout Trooper to build with that, and that's probably the best one they ever did, in all honesty.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that one's definitely my favorite out of those buildable figures. No doubt.
I think it's also the most expensive now on the aftermarket, like quite
a big time.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it really? Because I bought and built one when I was living in the apartment.
Yeah.
And I knew I was gonna want to get it. It's such a great, like, the Scout Trooper looks great. The speeder bike looks great.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The Scout Trooper one makes me sad because being that it's the last one and knowing what was going to get afterwards is like these figures would have been so cool.
And it's, do you think it's a lack? That's something I've never really thought of, but those buildable figures, because some of them do look like General Grievous looks freaking phenomenal, man. You know, I did think the Boba Fett one looked pretty good. But I wonder if it's because the ones that look really horrible, I wonder if it's because it's like a translation thing, like they just don't translate well over.
I think humans just didn't translate well in it. They look like dead in the face. I think there's one exception to that rule, whereby they did a clones version of Kenobi, and that's
you're right. The Kenobi one did look pretty decent. Yeah.
But
obviously the Jyn Erso one is the one that most people.
Yeah, I just didn't think they captured the faces particularly well, like you said, Greg. Unless it was like slightly stylized in a cartoon.
Yeah. And I wonder if that's why the Kenobi one like did good, is because it was more of a cartoon instead of like trying to make it not a cartoon, which sounds weird because I know it's all drawn.
Yeah.
But it just seemed to work better.
I seen Mayo out there. What's going on, Mayo? And Snap to Grid Bricks. What's up, Snap? How y'all doing today? Thank you for joining us on our anniversary stream. So Greg, would you jump right into it?
Yeah, I am. I'm just literally. I'm starting with bag 3. Funny enough, because my focus is on building the Vader's castle. Bags 1 and 2 is the TIE Advanced fighter, and that's not particularly big. So if I've got time later on, I build it. But I want to build the fortress, the castle. So that's going to be my thing. But yeah, here we go. I'm bag 3 in, or at least bag 1, really, technically speaking. Nice. But yeah, man, I saw yesterday that you went to, and I'm going to go and see it on Tuesday, which is my birthday.
Right.
I'm going to see Doctor Strange and the Madness of the Multiverse.
Right.
I haven't watched your.
Yeah, don't watch it because I spoiled the shit out of that movie. If you haven't seen it, don't watch it unless you don't care about spoilers.
I don't generally mind about spoilers, to be honest. But I've kept this one because there's a lot. I got a feeling there's going to be a lot coming at us in this movie.
Well, I mean, it's definitely got some stuff in it. It's a good movie, dude. It's a good movie. It's just I think I set my expectations too high.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't mean that in a way like it's bad. It's
Mhm.
not. It's not a bad movie. There's just I don't know. Like I said, it's hard to say anything without trying to spoil on that movie, dude. Honestly,
Yeah.
because there's so many things that are pivotal to the story that would just give too much stuff away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will tell you this though. The best stuff in the movie, in my opinion, is the multiverse scenes.
Oh, well, so because they obviously go through different dimensions, and
Yes.
and is that for you was the good stuff? Yeah.
Yes, that was the best part of the movie, in my opinion, man.
Cool, man.
And I cannot wait to be able to pause on like 4K or something like that to look at all this stuff, because there is clearly places that they go through that you just know there's something else more to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a good movie though, man. I think it's probably one of my more favorite Marvel movies.
Yeah, because I'm expecting this one to sort of feel quite dark.
Yeah. Well, and obviously Sam Raimi, he directed it.
Yeah.
And I will also say, without spoiling anything, there are a few scenes that I am very surprised they left in the movie.
Really? What? Because they're not good, or they're too horror,
because
horrific?
Dude, there is 2 scenes in the movie, man, that even Mrs. Hive was like she almost like screamed out like holy shit in the movie theater. You'll see, man. But I cannot believe like they left it in the movie. I think
a lot of people are speculating, is this kind of like the prelude, like seeing how much they can get away with to keep the PG-13 to introduce.
Dude,
like
I'm telling you right now,
kind of
if I don't hear about some mother complaining to Disney about seeing that with their kid, I'll be surprised, dude. So
yeah.
And it's absolute. I can't wait till eventually more people will see it and we can talk about it, because it is the greatest thing in the world, dude.
Yeah. Well, over here now, they're cancelling Cinderella over here in the theaters because and one of the reasons is Cinderella. Andrew Lloyd Webber, Disney sort of show, but they're cancelling it, and one of the reasons they're cancelling it is because not too many people have gone to see it, but they've really highly sexualized it. It's like really inappropriate. Yeah, like there's people getting up with their kids going, I ain't come to see this.
Wait, and oh wow.
Like
wow.
Yeah, they've really kind of gone for the jugular in more ways than
wild.
one.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Yeah. And see for myself. Kittenville Brick, what's happening? How you doing? So, yeah, like I said, good stuff. They had some good previews. I got to see the Avatar 2 preview.
Oh, nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not online, or maybe it is.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but yeah,
I did hear that they were going to be putting that in there, so I was like, oh,
and
wait,
it looks beautiful, man. I mean, it's a beautiful looking movie, dude. I don't know if it's going to be on the same epic scale as the first one, but I'm sure it probably will be. They showed the Thor preview, but I thought we would get a more extended Thor preview, but it was the same one. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to the Avatar sets? Do you think you'll get them live?
Not really.
No.
I mean, not thinking about them, but they could show us a set, and I'd be like, oh my god, that looks amazing. Kind of like. We're gonna talk about sets for a minute, man. Those new Monkey Kid sets, dude.
Oh yeah,
dude.
You happy with those sets?
For the first time since Monkey Kid has been created or whatever, you know what I mean, for Lego. For the first time, I'm like, Ninjago, you better come out with another Ninjago City Gardens or something, dude.
I feel like
they're
just going through and they are like ticking the boxes and covering every aspect of what like each different subsection of Lego fans want. Like they've done epic mechs, they've done like the modular kind of style system. They haven't done like a big grand one like the Ninjago ones, which I would love to see. But
it looks like they're working their way up to it, man.
Yeah. And yeah, they just keep getting, but the vehicles have been like spot on as well.
They're really good.
I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. I just desperate for us to get season 2 and season 3 over here, officially.
I haven't kept up with the cartoon or anything. I mean, I've seen bits and pieces of it. I just haven't serialized it or anything.
Yeah, I think it gives, at least the first one gives a lot of context to a lot of the sets and makes them look, you look at them more as like an overall wave. If that makes sense, because you know how like if a Star Wars film comes out, you get like 7 or 8 sets and stuff, and you'll be like, oh, that's cool, because you're kind of following the story through the sets. Whereas with Monkey Kid, if you don't watch or like anything really, if you don't watch the media, you're just literally basing it on what it is, and it gives a bit more context to it. But I've seen, like I said, season 1 is on Amazon Prime Video over here. I've watched that quite a few times, and I have seen season 2, but I want to watch it in like proper good quality and stuff. But yeah, it's a wicked theme. It's a really good theme.
Is it still got cult status in your opinion, Tech?
I think so. I don't know. It's hard to say over here because the conversions for the new sets over here are really good, and I think it's possibly because like they're still not selling too well here.
But it's not for our market though, is it? I mean, to be fair,
no,
it's
not
for China, haven't they?
No,
so.
It's not. But like even I think one of the sets is like $120, and I think we're getting it for like £80.
That's good. The prices are absolutely fine for Monkey Kid. For some reason, Wave 1 was super premium priced, and then they've really held back, and now they look, even compared to Star Wars, they actually look like really good value for money.
Yeah. I think outside looking in on that first wave, it is a pricey wave. Like you look at like the car, or the Roadster, which I think might be the second wave, and it was like 55 quid. And you go, that's like quite a lot, but it's actually really big. It's like not too far off the size of like a creator car. And so like I think a lot of people, I think if they got over the price point and got a lot of the sets, then they could see a bit more of the value in them, especially when they were going like 10-15% off in Lego stores. It didn't look so bad, but yeah, no, they seem to be getting better value for money as well.
You say that, Tech, but no one really in the south of England could get any discounted value because someone's gone around and bought them all, hadn't they?
I only bought the ball tanks. I can't.
How many?
Anyone
you got
else
a lot of balls. You got a lot of ball tanks. Sorry, I didn't slip there.
I got big ball tanks, Greg.
He does. That's why his mates call him wheelbarrow, because he has to walk around with him. But yeah, it's I really love the theme. I just think it looks really, really good. And I'll still stick by this. The wave that came out on the 1st of January this year was the best wave from all the Lego themes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree too. Oldendorf says, I am not happy when my Lego order here as the best car keyring not in case at all. Wait, so you got the case, but the keyring wasn't in it?
No way.
It's cool.
Mine's not even being posted yet.
I saw a few people saying that it was like it had like they'd had the box to it, but the keyring was just like loose in the packaging.
No,
I've seen a few people that have said that. Yeah,
one of my friends who actually pay for all of it. Got the Luke's land speeder, and the box looked like it's been picked around, and the keychain it doesn't have tape around it, so it's just flopped straight out.
Mine didn't.
Apparently, you could actually, when you turn the box up, you could actually see part of the keyring actually dangling out the bottom of it.
Wow!
She was lucky that she didn't lose it.
Dude, that's wild, man.
Yeah,
it is. And overall, the land speeder seems to be getting quite good reviews, actually, which is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I think most of us agree. Like, look, the build is good. It's like the typewriter, man. You know, for me, like the build is amazing, but it's a freaking typewriter, dude. Like, I mean, unless you're a writer, like what? I don't understand the appeal of wanting a typewriter. I mean, like, I don't know, everybody likes something, you know, but it just, I don't know. But that's how the land speeder feels, man. It's just it's a beautiful build. I mean, it really is. It's just
there's a lot of other things I would rather have had, though. In all honesty,
exactly. I think that's what it boils down to. Is the fact that it is an incredible model of what it is trying to portraying, what it's representing, but it's just not.
I'm just hoping now it's been made, we can bury the hatchet on now. Luke's Landspeeder's been done. Can we please get something else?
Yeah,
now?
I mean that's a good thing about it. Actually, to be fair, Solo's right. They've done it now. Let's move on quick.
Exactly.
But I gotta tell you, man, I feel I've said this before many times, man. I feel bad for the generation that grew up with the prequels, dude. I really do. Because look, just a couple years ago, what did we have? We had the 20th anniversary or whatever it was.
They were good sets. The 20th anniversary of
whatever it was. Dude, here we had the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and all this stuff that they could have done for it. And what do? They went hard on Hoth, man. Then they went hard on like Landspeeder and like we got the gunship.
Got the gunship.
I know, man, but god dang, dude. You know what it feels like a lot of times? It feels like Lego does like just enough to shut us up, dude. Like there you go. You got a minifigure for May the 4th. But we gave you even though it's exclusive, the lamest minifig you could possibly probably think of. You know what I mean? Here you go. You got a UCS ship, you know, but it's the Landspeeder, something that was in the first movie for like 15 minutes. It just, again, man, I don't. It's not about hate. It's just about like sometimes it's just like I don't understand, you know, like why. Like, why do they do that?
I think it's also probably come down to the age group of people that probably work in Lego as well. Probably like people like mine and Tech's age are probably more like your two age, you know, and they're probably like, no, prequels, everyone hates the prequels. Prequels are rubbish. So everyone loves the original.
But I think that's where their mistake is at, because that's where I think their finger is not on the pulse of the Lego community or the Star Wars Lego community, dude. Because think about this, man. The reason I think, I've thought about this really hard. I think the reason that the original trilogy set sold so well for so long is because of the age demographic. When the prequels, when Lego first started making the Star Wars stuff, all the prequel generation, they were kids, man. They were young. You know what I mean? So yeah, they would buy just about anything, but the adults probably were the ones that were more towards like buying, like they're the ones that were recognizing X-Wing and stuff. But as time has gone on, this generation of prequel, you know, like they've grown up and now they want what we had when Lego first started 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Like they want their like familiar sets and stuff. And I think Lego is just doing an extremely big disservice not catering to those fans. Just like in 20 years, there's going to be another generation of kids that want to see more of the sequel stuff.
Yeah,
and you know, maybe Lego will be like putting out prequel stuff like they do the original.
I still think it's personally though too soon to come out with a Razor Crest.
I hope that does happen.
It's just come out. I mean, I do want it, but I don't want it just yet because I think there's other ships.
See, I'm being selfish because I do want it right now.
Oh, you're so selfish. Honestly, he's the worst. He's the worst ranter. He really is, folks. He got his exclusive minifigure, but he ain't cool enough for it because he's some old bird in the kitchen. He ain't happy with it. I put the Swedish chef in that kitchen with her.
That was so great. That was so great. I saw somebody copy you on that too.
No, did they?
I did. I was like, look at this.
I'm gonna find out who they are. Let me know who they are. I'll get back in touch. That's a really good idea.
Greg's gonna get claimed it's 20%.
Yeah.
Like, don't hurt him, Greg.
I do that though. Someone blatantly copies me. I always say that's a really good idea. And then they came back to me and said, "Yeah, you might have inspired me." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." There you tell me.
Oh gosh,
it's in fact, I don't even think that was my idea. Whoever I was, Hive, I think you might have actually.
I don't know. It might have been a collaboration, man. It's all good. I don't remember, dude.
But it was funny.
Nicole, what are you saying? To me, the typewriter had its charm because of nostalgia. I learned to type on a typewriter. It is part of my early years as an adult. It used to be an essential part of my life. Yeah, I get that. I'm old enough to remember now that.
You know what they're working on next, though, don't you, Hive? A fax machine. That's what will be the next one.
Isn't that something, man?
And then maybe we'll get a printer in the future or something.
I can't wait for the UCS floppy disk.
I'm waiting for the
5.5-inch one though. It's got to be a 5.5-inch floppy.
I'm waiting for the payphone. That's what I'm waiting on. Next thing you know, they'll be making a beeper and anything else. Then that's nostalgia. Just like the Atari. Like, I don't know, man. Some people like that thing, man. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, the Nintendo is cool. I think the Nintendo has more of a pop culture reach You know, I don't
Nintendo
know,
is still insanely popular today. Like, so there's going to be even people that are way too young to be able to play the NC or like the SNES or whatever would still know what it is because they've kind of followed the consoles like back, and that they would see like what come before what they play now.
I feel sorry though for that community, dude, because they are not getting their CMS series that they want. And yet we got
which ones?
For Super Mario and Mario, they're not getting that CMS series. And Sonic comes along, Lego ideas, and boom, there you go. Have a Sonic CMF. Have a nice day.
I that whole thing is weird.
It's funny, man. It just cracks me up. And when you get people like Bricks O'Brien, say that's all he wants. But he's like, I said, yeah, it's the hope that kills you, mate. It really is.
It can be, yeah. I mean, expectations sometimes can be too high. I will say that. Minifig Who, what's going on? Afternoon to you as well, and happy stream anniversary. Thank you. Topic Brick says, yeah, I'm looking forward to them. Right on. Minifig Who says, I'm with Hive. I want the Razor Crest now. Wow, yeah, why wouldn't you? Right? I'm just kidding.
Okay. But I'd still rather have a UCS sail barge, or maybe a U-wing, or maybe a new B-wing. I don't know. I honestly think we're going to get an X-wing in the next year or so. I really do.
I want something from the prequels, man. Just give us something.
You got a gunship. You've had a gunship.
We got a gunship.
Yeah, that'll do for the next 10 years, will it?
Okay, well, let's just go by history. Yeah. What are the? I mean, how many prequel UCS sets have we gotten?
3, I think. It's the gunship.
Because we got the Naboo Starfighter.
Oh, sorry, 4 then. The gunship, Obi-Wan Starfighter, Naboo Starfighter, and technically that General Grievous.
General Grievous was UCS, yeah.
You may count R2D2, but I don't know where that falls.
He's a prequel if you think about it. But then he was in everything, so
yeah, technically.
Yeah.
Well, how about let's go the other direction.
Okay.
How about and I know some people might even hate me for saying this, but how about a sequel UCS set?
Yeah, I think we should have a sequel one. We did not get enough Kylo Ren sets.
I was gonna say Kylo Ren shuttle, Krennic. Oh, Krennic shuttle wouldn't be a sequel, but I mean that would be another good one.
A great one.
Yeah.
100%. I would want that. I said that the other day for somebody. I didn't realize. Yeah, of course, it's not a main movie.
That's been talked about a lot lately. Is Krennic shuttle?
Krennic shuttle is beautiful. Like that is a beautiful shuttle.
I think I'm gonna sell the Krennic minifig. Actually,
I managed to pick up.
I totally with you, but I think out of the sequel stuff, I would love to have a Kylo Ren shuttle as well in a UCS scale.
Yeah. Kylo Ren, the command shuttle or his TIE silencer. That TIE silencer.
Either one of his TIE fighters. Yeah. From the Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker, because he had 2 different ones.
Oh yeah, man.
Either of those I'd be down for.
100%.
Yeah,
I love it.
This is the problem. It didn't really. This is the problem I have with the sequels. It didn't introduce anything new. Because if they introduce a new First Order TIE fighter, well, it's got
bigger and red.
It's just.
It wasn't it? It was just bigger and red.
Yeah, and it had a rear-facing gun on it. Wow.
This is what was like quite I don't know, quite weird about the whole thing with the sequels for me, and why it felt, I think, so much of especially The Force Awakens, like such a rehash of A New Hope, was because from the beginning of Clone Wars to like A New Hope, the original trilogy area, there's what, like 5, 6 there's what, like 10, 15 years, it's like 10, 15 years or something. And then you get all, like, from the start of the Clone Wars, you get so many new different designs of vehicles and stuff, and then you jump another like 20, 30 years and you've still got TIE fighters flying around, you've still got X-Wings, you've still got A-Wings flying around. They're just like slightly different color schemes. Like, it just felt very unimaginative on the designer side.
I mean, especially if you're like heavy into your legend stuff, it's like you go into there, you got K-Wings, E-Wings, and all that kind of stuff. And then with the Empire, my God, you could actually just have a live stream on its own naming every TIE fighter that they came up with.
There's the TIE.
And you come into like this stuff now, it's like, what's a TIE fighter and a special advanced TIE fighter?
Well, and sometimes, the thing with Lego too, man, is sometimes some of the things I wish they would do is take some risks once in a while. You know what I mean?
Well, this has always been my argument. They have taken risks before. I mean, like, everyone keeps going, like, they don't make video game stuff because it's too violent and all that kind of stuff. They made, I can't remember the name of it, but the one from The Force Unleashed, My God, that fit, you actually go around
Rogue Shadow.
slicing stormtroopers apart.
No,
and then
you're right.
making-
Actually, they have, because I was gonna say the ships. Like, there's a lot of ships, like a lot of
But
obscure ships. You know what I mean? But they have done
It's
some.
Wars. It is Wars. It's Star Wars. I mean, the whole thing
Yeah.
is built around.
I mean, they've done. Yeah. Rogue Shadow.
I do agree with Topic Bricks. I think he says I think sequel UCS sets will happen in about around 5 years. To be honest, I think that's about right. Probably, yeah. Also, hi Darth Gordier, how you doing, brother? How about something I would buy in a heartbeat just because I missed out on the smaller version of it is if they did a UCS Ghost.
Sign me up.
Yeah,
because you imagine it would probably be on about the same scale, man, as the Falcon.
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be bigger because it's bigger than the Falcon.
Well, I know, but then you're pushing a grand easy. You know what I mean?
I think they would.
But you know what? That could be their first $1,000 UCS set.
Oh my God, sign me up.
But do you think that would sell well though?
No,
Because
yeah,
I
I think
think-
no.
Dude, look at the Falcon and the AT-AT.
Yeah, but obviously looking at it from Lego's point of view, that's a movie thing. The Ghost is
Ghost is only
TV
featured.
series. That's why it has been in movies, but
I think it would be just look. I think who was talking about it? Were we talking?
Ghost
about
was
it? I don't know,
in
but
prequels and Rogue One.
I was just hearing about how Lego. Oh no, it was Cali Brick Click. I was listening to that, and they were talking about how you would think by now Lego would understand how popular any clone trooper is. You know what I mean? Like, look at the market for clone troopers, dude. So why on earth wouldn't they jump on that? You know what I mean? So that being said, do I think a Ghost would be as recognizable maybe as the X-Wing? No, but if you slapped a Star Wars logo on that thing, man, and enough people that know about Star Wars, or just don't produce a whole lot of them like you would like a clone, like a 501st Battle Pack. It's like the typewriter. They didn't make as many typewriters as they made as a 501st Battle Pack. You know what I mean? So just slow down on the production, see how it goes. You know what I mean? And then ramp it up if you have to. But I think it would sell just fine.
I reckon it would sell fine. Yeah, there's no doubt, but I just don't know.
I don't know as much
looking
as
at
like
Lego's
Falcon.
business point of view.
Right.
Will it sell as well? As,
Right.
say,
I would love it though, because when I watched back recently in the last few weeks, seasons 3 and 4 of Rebels, I didn't realize how much season 4 of Rebels actually intertwines with Rogue One. It's massive.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, what's her face is actually in Rogue One. I don't think you see her. You do see Chopper though.
You see Chopper. You don't. Yeah, they call for Syndulla when they're when they're on the base.
So good, man. But the really cool thing is, I didn't catch this first time around. They at the end, literally the last 5 minutes of the last ever episode of Rebels, she's talking about what happened to people, and she had a son with Kanan, which is really good. And she said Rex was at the Battle of Endor, making that geezer just happened to look like Rex canon.
Yeah, they've made it canon, which is great. Which means I have a Captain Rex, dude.
There you go.
But Rex is he's like a massive pivotal part of the Star Wars universe then.
Yeah, he really is, dude.
So cool, man. So cool.
And Rex, I can't remember where I learned this from, but Rex's armor and stuff is actually a combination of Phase 1 and Phase 2.
Yeah.
And he was the only trooper that did that.
Yeah, because you can see the world marks, can't you, on it?
And I've mentioned before about a podcast I listened to called A More Civilized Age. And it's really great. And basically they watch they watch whatever the arc is, like if there's like a 3-part series in the Clone Wars or something like that. They'll watch those episodes and then they'll have their podcast and then they talk about it. And the conversations that they have are absolutely stunning and fascinating. Some of them are funny, but because they have 4 different people and 2 of them are just hardcore Star Wars nerds. So they're able to provide information, but the other 2 are just hilarious. But yeah, they talk a lot about the clones and what they think makes them think, and just the different personalities, and how some of them have just kind of lost it, some of them have rebelled, and they just have so many wonderful conversations about what happens to the clones, you know what I mean, all kinds of different stuff, and about how the Jedi are just insane most of the time. They talk about so many times if you're a clone trooper and let's say you're following Anakin, and you're Anakin would jump off a cliff, and they're all supposed to just follow him, you know what I mean? They're all can you imagine because in essence you think about it, it'd be awesome to have the Jedi with you, because of course, dude, it'd totally help you out, but at the same time, the thing that they bring up in the podcast is like the Jedi also, but like the Republic, they sacrifice clones like fodder, dude.
Yeah.
Like just like nothing. You know what I mean?
Well, you think about it, the Republic was set up to cancel that slavery, and the Jedi sacrificed everything against slavery, and yet we build a clone army.
I know that don't have
do
any
my
kind
bidding.
of choice in the matter about a lot of stuff,
And
especially
the thing
like
is, the
stuff
Clone
like Order
Wars actually does
66
bring a
and-
little bit up on that as well. You know, it's like, is this morally right? But
Well, and
like,
plus
no.
something else they talk about is like when Order 66 happened. So think about okay, you got to first think about the mindset of a clone. Like how normal is their mindset? Like would be like us, you know? I mean, obviously genetics aside, you know what I mean? But like if we were at war, you know what I mean? Imagine spending so much time with your Jedi commander or whatever, and then like that, dude, you're killing him.
You see, that's why I love the arc with Fives. You know, like come out to his spoiler alert, coming up to his death.
Right.
You know, it's like the nightmares are now finally come to an end. You know, they break through. Like these are, despite clones, and they're all trained for one thing. These are people at the end of the day. You know, and they've seen their brothers die and all that kind of stuff.
Dude, let me tell you
your
something.
brain,
Man.
you know, take them as like symbiotic people. Your brain's still traumatized by all that. So yeah,
and it would never happen, but I would love to see like a very serious drama take on that. Like imagine Clone Wars, but it was more like Saving Private Ryan or something. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what Rogue One was meant to be more like.
And they did a really good job. But even then, they could only go so far with it. You know what I mean? But because imagine, you know, like how brutal that would, like that war was brutal, man. And plus you're fighting robots. You know what I mean? Like
I'm hoping that we're going to get a little bit from Kenobi. Yeah, from the Kenobi series. Like
that would be great.
Just reflecting like maybe we weren't, you know, we lost our way. You know, we have severely lost our way. Maybe we were two evil people fighting basically for the same thing effectively.
That would be great because you'd think Kenobi would have tons of time to think out there, man, all that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, a lot of desert to look at and wander,
reflect.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I'm looking forward to Kenobi. I'm so pumped for Kenobi.
I'm being cautiously optimistic, dude. Because I want it to work. I do.
I'm just more excited just to see Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor back on the screen again as these two.
Because I used to think about it like, look, Ewan's a phenomenal actor. You know, like that's why, like, if I see an actor in certain movies, I'm like, okay, look, that's got to be a decent movie, dude, because they wouldn't just be in some piece of crap movie. You know what I mean? But the problem is, Ewan could have read the script, and then you know they're filming, and then all of a sudden Disney's like, "No, we got to change this, or you can't do that, or whatever."
I think
you know what I mean?
I have seen something from Star Wars Theory, and it kind of makes me a bit scared that they want to make it a little bit optimistic. They're like, no. Don't make it optimistic. I want this to be the dark, brooding, damaged northerner I've ever seen. You know, that's what I want to see. But
I mean, and if you think about it, it really should be, dude. I mean, I understand A New Hope. That was our first introduction to it, and then it took off from there or whatever. But if you think about it, like the setting for this, it's like think about how broken, you know, you must have been. Like there was Order 66, exactly then like, and that you didn't have enough time to say goodbye to anybody, like except for what Yoda and Organa, you know what I mean, or Bale, and you know, like, a couple of those things. But like, yeah, dude. And then all of a sudden, you're in the butthole of the galaxy in Tatooine. You know what I mean? And all you can do is just keep an eye on this kid. That you know what I mean. You got to make sure nothing happens to him. I think it should be darker.
No,
I thought Ahsoka could be in this because of
she could be in it, but I don't think she is. I think this is just literally
because in Rebels she goes through that time thing, doesn't she?
I've got a feeling they might throw her in.
Yeah, I was thinking about this after watching Rebels. Ahsoka has access to this time thing. Well, that's why.
Me personally, I think there's way too many references to Fallen Order not to have. I can't remember his name, but the dude from the video game to be in this.
Is it Cal Kestis?
Cal Kestis, that's it. Yeah, there's way too many. I mean, we've got Purge Troopers in it. We've got his little droid, and now we've got the Inquisitor.
We do have that droid that did just kind of pop up, didn't it?
Sorry,
the droid. It did
Yeah.
just kind of pop up out of nowhere
Yeah.
all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So I reckon there's way too many references, and also with the droid for also being in what do you call it, in the Mandalorian 2.0, or the Book of Boba Fett, what you want to call it. I think they are setting up something to bring Cal Kestis into live action, which I think, me personally, is a bit of a kick in the teeth to EA as well at the same time, because we're supposed to be getting a new video game this year.
And actually, now that I think about it, because I'm trying to think of the timeline of everything, because Mando and all this stuff.
Mando would still be a kid.
4 years after Return of the Jedi.
But that's what the thing is here. Ahsoka's got this really odd privilege where she can go through this time tunnel. I forget what it's called now.
That's way before that event is like right before A New Hope, though. Whereas this is obviously going to be set back because Luke's still so young.
Oh, true. Actually, yeah, true. Because I'm thinking, because Kenobi was in the last few episodes of Rebels with Ahsoka. Yeah. They never actually met, did they?
No.
And this is set before that. Oh yeah, okay. It's close though. It's only like
I wouldn't be surprised if she made an appearance somewhere, just because they seem to like putting Rosario Dawson in. They've cast her now. They seem to want to try to put her in everything.
Yeah. And maybe she would appear like in a white outfit, because we've got to have Ezra has got to come in at some point.
Yeah, he'll come in.
Not here, but
in the Ahsoka show, I imagine.
Yeah, it's going to be Ahsoka. Yeah, because then we'll get.
They're going to bring Thrawn in too.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, he's been cast as the guy that did the voice acting, which is awesome.
Topic Rick says, I want the first 1000 UCS set to be the Death Star, similar to the 2005 version that had the removable panels interior. Then obviously we get like 30 nano figures as well, like with the big Hogwarts set.
£1,000 or $1,000 UCS set.
Yeah, I don't know. I got mixed emotions on it.
It will happen.
Like no one like. The problem with that, or at least the problem that I think about that, is like you're trying to market something for $1,000 that is both a play. Like I don't know. Like
I know we talk about the price, dude, but think about like 10 years ago, somebody would have been like, "All right, yeah, there's going to be an $800, you know what I mean, Lego set." People would have been like,
"Yeah." But then if you've got like if you've got like a big Death Star and you're talking about like having it paneled as well, right? You're gonna lose, because if you're gonna have it be something that you can open up and play with, you're gonna just naturally, because it's Lego, you're gonna sacrifice a lot of its displayability because of that. There's gonna be parts of the panel that have gaps in and things like that, because you've got an interior that. And
I was gonna say, interior or not, dude, it will be a hard sell only because you're gonna have a big great ball for $1,000.
Yeah.
I look, interior or not, dude, that's for your average goer. That I'm sure it's going to be probably a hard sell just on that aspect of it. But I don't know.
I've got to head off because the people have just turned up, so I've got to.
I've got to sit down.
But all right, hopefully I'll see you in a little while.
All right, thanks for hanging with us, man.
No, mate. See ya.
Later.
Oh.
Also, I saw a few people jump in. Hello, Chef. Hello, Macro. Moments of the Magic. I don't know if it's pronounced oof or oof, but I'll go with oof. Oof. Thoughts on Jesus? Not really. Seth, good morning to you. How you doing? Sounds like Greg looking forward to Thrawn show on Disney Plus in the future then. Yeah, I mean,
love Thrawn. Thrawn for me is basically the more modern day Tarkin.
Yeah, I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
I'm quite excited for. I've been like in the last few weeks or so. I've been watching like a lot of theory videos on like where they're anticipating this kind of like I think they called it like the Mandoverse, like this time frame in Star Wars. Because they've got a lot of time where they can work up to like the First Order, because that's inevitably the stopping point is essentially Force Awakens, pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so they've got there's a lot of years in there, like what is it, like 20, 30 years that they've got of time that they can try and like weave in, and so I think it is quite exciting. I think it just needs to be done. It just
Like
needs to
Ben
be-
Solo. I wanna see the Ben Solo story and how that all pans out. And
Yeah.
you know, and as I mean, I thought it was a mistake that Grogu has gone back to Mando already after
Agreed.
Oh, for sure.
like what was it, like 2 weeks he was away from him for?
That's what it felt like.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's gonna
it
make
was
me
like
want
what
to
it
kill
was
that
true
little thing
friend.
even more now, man. I'm just like, just get rid of him.
Yeah. But yeah, but I love the interaction with Luke. I love the young Luke stuff. But when Ahsoka turned around and said something, and he said, you know, oh, blah blah blah, and she went, "No, you're so much like your father."
Oh,
I'd
great.
be like, whoa!
Oh my God, dude.
What do you mean by that?
So how about that awesome burn by Owen Lars, man, to
Yeah.
Kenobi about like, oh, just like you trained your father, or you just trained like you trained
was
your
like-
father. Yeah, dude.
like-
I was like, ooh,
Cold
emotional damage.
Yeah, because he'd be like, yeah, because that went well, didn't it, Ben Kenobi?
Be like, you stay the hell away from my kid.
That's the thing, man. Everyone was like, oh, that Uncle Owen was so grumpy. That actually, when you pan out the whole story, you're like, actually, yeah, he was trying to protect him.
Well, you know, I immediately, I remember walking out of the theater when Revenge of the Sith came out, man, and I remember looking at my dad. Like, I remember saying like a couple of things, like one about like, I remember like asking him, I was like, did Padme die of a broken heart? I remember asking that. And but the other thing I told him, I was like, you know what? I was like, yeah. I was like, Anakin balanced the Force, man. I was like, he killed all the Jedi, but like 2. There was like 2 Jedi, 2 Sith.
Yeah.
You know, it's like maybe that's what the whole balance was all about. Because
Yeah.
I never quite understood about balancing the Force by killing the Emperor. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, what does that mean? Like, because you've got to have the light side and the dark side, you know, as a balance. So what do you what? So,
Yeah, and then there was a lot more Jedis.
There certainly was, and the Jedi. I don't know, man. They were very dogmatic, you know. And I totally agree with like, I really agree with Ahsoka's arc. You know, when she was in the nicest way possible, basically giving the Jedi, you know, order the finger.
Yeah, but they were stupid to her. They were like dumb as anything.
Well, something again about like the podcast I listen to about it, you know, that they bring up is with the Jedi is they're so hypocritical about so many things where like they say, do as I do, don't do as I say, or do as I say, don't do as I do, or, you know, it just so many things. It's just crazy, you know. But I think a lot of it is just to move plots forward. You know, that's really I think what it comes down to. You know, it's a show.
So here's the thing. Then, what about if Mace Windu returns? Would you be up for that?
Please, for the love of God, do not do it. Like,
I think I would have been fine with it if they would have done it a long time ago. I look, I don't want to be pessimistic because some stuff works, some stuff doesn't. But it's just when they keep trying to rehash stuff in the same timeline that they've been working on for the last 40 years, it's like you start questioning things like, well, how's come this person was never brought up, or how's come this was never referenced, or just like with the Kenobi thing, like, dude, I'm hoping it's just flashbacks because I don't know how you're gonna work out Darth Vader, you know what I mean, in a more of a present sense when the first time they met since the last time was on the Death Star in the movie, you know what I mean? And I feel like something that Marvel's doing as well is they're pushing like wanting stuff, they want to change some continuity to work their current projects, you know what I mean? And some of it's very subtle, but it's like, you know, it's confusing for people that have been following stuff for a long time or have been reading more expanded stuff, you know what I mean? Especially like, you know, I talk about like when Disney bought Lucasfilm and they got rid of all the canon stuff, you know what I mean? All the legend stuff or whatever. That really messed with a lot of people, man, because I get their thoughts behind it because everything was so congested and everything. But, you know, for people like I'll take myself for example, you know what I mean? Because I remember reading Splinter in a Mind's Eye when I was, you know, a kid, you know what I mean? And from then on, just comic books, movies, or comic books and books and all this other stuff, you know, games like that is, you know, so you get into this mind frame of like for so many years, things are just engraved in your head. And it's the same thing like I've noticed now with the comic books and the MCU and stuff. Like I understand some things get changed, but like other stuff, it's really kind of messing with you. You know what I mean? Like for instance, you know, I'm not going to spoil this because it was in a trailer, but in the Multiverse Madness, they show a clip where you see the Living Tribunal. But there's like multiple tribunal heads, but in the comic book, you know, there's only like one, you know, it's just one being. So I don't know. Aseth, I want to buildable Luke's robotic hand. Tyler Brick says, I think $1,000 set is bound to happen at some point. I totally agree due to inflation, even if it wasn't for inflation. Lego just has this habit of wanting to raise their prices and put out more expensive stuff.
Dude, we said a long time ago here in England, we seem to get it before anyone else, the price hikes of Lego and all that sort of stuff. It's here.
Well, and some stuff doesn't make any sense to me, man. Like I get inflation, I get costs, I get molds, I even get prints. You know, I understand there are certain things that cost a little bit more, even though we could debate on how much stuff should cost because they're clearly making good profits. You know, I mean, they're doing really good.
As good as it gets, Lego.
But other stuff, I don't understand why they raise. Like, okay, we'll take example for over there where you guys were at the pick-a-brick wall.
Yeah.
What was the point of raising the prices for that? Like, and again, I don't like to just speak without knowing facts because I think there's some logistic stuff.
One to answer that, to be fair,
I think they were trying. So I think we've always had the good end of the stick with in terms of price for the pick-a-brick wall comparatively to other countries.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they hiked ours up. I don't know. Did they go up elsewhere? I don't think they did they?
Yeah, but I don't get it, dude. Because when you say your price is good, just trying to convert stuff in my head. Like stuff is generally a little cheaper for you just because your guys' currency is worth more than ours. You know what I mean? But I don't recall you guys having a much cheaper pick-a-brick wall. Like for instance, I just got pick-a-brick cups when I got the land speeder, and they're basically about with tax about $16 a piece. Okay, so I feel like you guys didn't have anything much better than that, did you? Because now you guys pay like $20 or something, don't you? Or
15 or 16.
£15. Yeah. So
wait a minute. Then what were you guys paying before?
It was $12.49, wasn't it? Go for a large cup.
Then what am I thinking about? What was
that's with tax?
Yeah,
but I thought there was something incredible. Like you guys, like the price.
It went up 25%. Actually, it was always
the hike was.
It was the hike that was more bothering to me.
Oh, okay, I see. It wasn't like a gradual hike. It was just like
no. And to be fair, to be fair to Lego, I think I was talking to Victoria Fisher about this, and she said it's been a long time since the price went up.
Yeah, I think it was like
no. I totally misunderstood. I thought that you guys are paying like $20 or more for like a cup,
it still works out cheap, especially in comparison to what you
it's always going to be the cheapest.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a little different. Never mind.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate the Pebble. When I look at buying bricks on Bricklink, I'm like, blimey, how much? I believe sometimes the prices of the stuff on there. Like a simple 1x2 sand green brick. Some places sell it for like 37p a brick. And I'm like, what? Like I got in touch with some of them and said, are you sure you priced that right? And I'm like, yeah. There's too white to show, but they're 6x8 white plates, right? Yeah, it's far too.
I know it just looked like a white plate.
Okay.
Hey, than you are.
But they are like 80p a piece. On Bricklink, and I managed to get 50 in a Pab cup. So I saved. It was something stupid like £80 across. Like it's just outrageous.
Every once in a while, I get my money's worth. You know what I mean? As far as a Pab cup, but I don't buy it to get my money's worth. That's not what I really get the Pab cups for, man. I mean, I don't want to be ripped off completely, but I don't get them to try and buy pieces for cheap per se. I just get them because they're handily available and you can get a lot of them at once. And I ain't gonna lie, I like getting the pick-a-brick cups too. It's gonna be a sad day for me when they don't become plastic anymore.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because I think
What they do there.
Greg Jake was on London Calling and he said that they didn't, but I thought that they had changed like there was a leak of them at some point, and I thought that the volume is actually because they're going to be square now, right? They're going to be square boxes, which you would think might work in our favor because Lego is generally square, so it might stack better.
Right.
However, I think that I thought that they were decreasing the volume of them as well, so they were going to be smaller. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see when it happens.
Right. So I've seen some new people out there. Zizu, what's going on? How you doing? Bricky TY, what's going on, Bricky? How you doing, man? Thank you. Appreciate that. For the happy anniversary. Let's see. I saw somebody else too. Hold on a minute. And yeah, Topic Bricks, he gives us the breakdown of the prices for the Pab Cups. And yeah, man, it sucks. You guys actually pay more. That's lame, dude. No, maybe I did say hi to everybody. Go ahead.
We've also got things like Brexit now to consider in like importing that stuff because we don't have anything that is produced over here. So that's a factor. Also, in the last, I think it's about 6 years since they last did the price change of the Pab Cups. Our currency has significantly dropped because of Brexit as well. So like, there are so many factors that is incredible.
Yeah,
we're lucky though. We are lucky, Tech. Our currency is still worth a lot compared to dollars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we're heavily taxed. The cost of living's going up, thanks to Russia. And do you know what I mean? It's just basically everyone's going to be spending less on Lego, and I genuinely am spending less on Lego. And I'm doing much more.
I can promise you right now, a lot of people aren't going to have a choice eventually, dude. Like a lot of us do pretty well for ourselves, you know what I mean? And I'm not talking about rich. We can survive without worrying too much, you know what I mean? But there's just too many people out there that are it's just too difficult, man. And I would say maybe it wouldn't be as far as because of like how much money they make, but the problem is the cost of so many things are going up, man. Gas, mortgages, rents, you know what I mean? Electric bill, just everything, man. That's why I hate, even though it's factual, but that's why I hate the argument sometimes of inflation with Lego. Or inflation with any kind of cost of product, because the problem is wages have not kept up with inflation. I mean severely have not kept up with inflation. You know what I mean? So when a Lego set goes up in price because of inflation, but people's wages haven't been able to keep up with it, you know what I mean? Obviously, there's a big disconnect.
It's a great scapegoat for big companies, isn't it? To say, oh well, inflation's going up. Okay, yes, you're right, but like you said,
right.
Wages aren't going up to match. So,
but and see, and I hate even saying this because I am totally for capitalism, obviously, you know what I mean. But you get to a point where you're like, okay, look, and I'm gonna just be a hypothetical here. So Lego easy making a couple $1 billion profit a year. Okay, so would it really hurt them to lower their prices a little bit? No. The reason Lego doesn't do that is because they're trying to keep their brand, at a premium place, you know what I mean? But the problem I have with that, again, is it's a children's toy, man. You're trying to keep a children's toy at a premium place. You know what I mean? This isn't a motorcycle. This isn't a Lamborghini. This isn't a house. You know what I mean? It's not a watch. It's a children's toy. You know what I mean? And the thing is, I was just talking about this the other night about how, like, when my daughter was young, there's no way, dude, I would have been buying Lego for her. I wouldn't have been able to afford it, man. I mean, I could buy maybe like $5, $10 set, $20 set once in a while, but you don't really get a whole lot with that, dude. You know what I mean? But I couldn't afford $50, $60, $70 sets like on a constant basis, dude, because that's what most of them are. Yes, you get a handful of like $10, $20 sets, you know what I mean? But most of them start getting into the $40, $50, $60, $70, $80, $100 more range,
I think in the coming years it will be more of a golden age for people that do mocks, because
I agree.
Simply because people one day, and I'm sure it's going to happen to me or you, will sit here, we'll go, do you know what? I don't want to buy any more Lego. I'm going to focus on what I've got, on what if I want something, I want to build it myself, and I think that's a part of an evolution of.
Yes. Well, that's what Lego used to be. And a
Yeah.
lot of people complain about that. And I don't complain about that because there's stuff for everybody, you know what I mean? But a lot of people do complain that Lego isn't about building with your imagination anymore. It's about buying sets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And buying what's already built. Hey, Snap, thank you so much, man. Says get yourself the best bottle of sparkling water and toast your 3 years together. Thank you so much, Snap. I appreciate that, man.
Thanks, Snap. Top
Thank
man.
you. Yeah, I mean, and look, really the crutch of the argument is, and no matter what, and this is something that I have to always fall back to is, look, if we don't like it, we don't have to buy it.
Yeah.
Pure and simple. You know what I mean?
Man. Yeah.
It just, I hate that argument. It's like I could totally use it, but I just hate it. You know what I mean? Because it's because Lego, man, is so awesome. Like Lego is so awesome, dude. Like,
but luckily we've been in it so long. We know that we know when it goes cheap and
right. Yeah, we definitely
like we can be quite smart about it.
Yeah.
No, totally agreed. As a matter of fact, we get right down strategic with it.
Yeah, but then we it's like anything though. You have to like. If you're buying a one-off Lego set, if you're going to go and spend if you're one-off birthday present for someone that you just kind of thinking like, I'll go get a nice Lego set, so you go spend 90 quid on it at the Lego store, and you don't know that you can get it for £70 on Amazon or elsewhere, but you've gone in, you've picked it up, and you're happy with it. But when you're spending like hundreds of pounds a month, then you do it like that. Then that £20 that you're saving there and that £15 there starts to accumulate, and that's a couple more sets each month, isn't it? So yeah, you do have to be very wary of like what's around. I think if you're buying in the large quantities that a lot of us do,
well, and someone brought up to me the argument about and they're half right in my opinion, but like they're like, well, yeah, Lego's expensive, but obviously you can go and find clearance and this and that. And I said, yes, maybe. I said, but look, I know Lego. I'm a Lego hunter. And do you know how hard it is sometimes for me to find clearance stuff? Because people like me will go and buy it all, man. So your average parent is just at the store, gonna buy something for their kids. Like, I don't know, man. It's just, and it still doesn't go, it still doesn't negate the fact that it's like, okay, you can buy it, but you got to wait so you can find it on sale or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm curious. Look, I think the only thing really that's saving Lego's ass right now is the licensed IPs. Because I would say the constructions of the bricks and the builds and the clutch power and all that, but that's something more for us. Like your average person doesn't understand like Lego's, clutch power, you know what I mean? But they do understand like Harry Potter, and they do understand, Star Wars. So I think that's really what's saving Lego's butt right now is just having all these themes to like lean on.
Technic seems to go in for their licenses these days as well, don't they?
Technic have got the kind of thing of being this like incredibly high end. Like that's one thing I don't see too many people complain about. Maybe it's just because I'm not into the space enough, but like I don't see that many Technic people going, God, that bulldozer is like way overpriced, or like
never.
Yeah, no, you're right. I don't.
Which is straight because they have
the most expensive types of stuff.
Yeah, the average price of set for a Technic set has got to be the highest. Maybe.
Why do you think that is? Do you think it's just because the
engineering
they're used to it? Because they don't really get a lot of cheap stuff. Like, see, we get this weird range, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying they don't get a range, but like we all know, anything Technic is generally expensive, dude.
Yeah. But do you know what? It's a bit like I don't ever hear them mocking either. Like, is it because it's got all those pins in it? Like, you get a Technic set, comes with 2,500 pieces, right? Well, 1,999 of those pieces are going to be pins. So
do you think it's possible? And look, I don't know, but do you think it's possible that they just don't get on a big soapbox? Like me, I'll rant and rave and complain about everything, you know what I mean? And I usually pretty vocal, so everybody hears it, you know what I mean? But like, but I don't know, maybe there's a whole demographic of people like Technic builders and stuff like that, or mockers that
Echo Bricks is well into his techniques, and I do buy the. I've bought a couple in my time, and I'm like, I'm definitely going to build that one day. I got like the rally car that came out probably 4 years ago.
The Top Gear one.
Yeah, it's like it looks like the Martini colors, red, white, and blue with the silver Martini logo. And it was just called the rally car, and I can't wait to build that one day. But I just it's like you just build other stuff.
I think Technic's incredibly exciting. And I think if they were to do more electronic based Star Wars stuff or Monkey Kids, like if they integrated more of the power functions, because outside of Technic, we get a train motor and a light and like some lights maybe if we're lucky.
Yeah.
And it's like very simple, but the whole like programming aspect of Technic actually like really interests me. But I would just like to see it incorporated in more things outside of just the Technic, because I don't want a bulldozer. Like I just don't care for a bulldozer or like.
Why is that, Tech? Why don't you want a bulldozer?
I don't want to spend like 450. Isn't that like cat bulldozer like 450 quid? Like
it's a lot, dude.
That's like I could go get nearly another 8080.
You said nearly another one.
Yeah, but no, I don't know. I would like to see more of the motors and stuff featured in other things, and I know that comes with its pricings because Technic sets I don't think you can get one under 100 quid that's got a motor in. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe that buggy did that have a motor in, Greg? There's the one that came out. Was it last year? I think Solo built on.
Yeah, there was there was the. We were going to buy one, weren't we?
Yeah.
It was like an RC car racer, which got really good reviews. It's a really good set, and it does.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's a great set, dude.
Mauve and black, the colors of it are mauve and black sort of thing, and it looks like a Tamiya grasshopper style car. Yeah. It's awesome, folks. It really is, and they're quite good fun as well.
Yeah, that was a good one. I wanted to get that.
One of my favorite sets I built last year was the remote control Batmobile. It was absolutely brilliant. It really, I honestly, I was almost in tears when it was actually moving around. And
I can't wait to get a I gotta eventually get a remote Lego set, dude.
Yeah, and the third party companies, they do like faster motors and things like that, so you can make some of them like really, really high speed and quite quick. Yeah. Which I think is one thing that Lego are missing out on is the whole like the whole RC market is super popular, right? But you can get like RC cars that go like 20-30 miles an hour that like whiz down and like whiz about, but you can't get like it's the Lego ones are very slow if you're trying to compete with that. I'm not saying go like super quick, but they just seem very slow at the moment. So it'd be nice to see them like power up some of their motors, do some like monster trucks maybe, and like have them be able to like battle a bit. I think that would be super fun.
Yeah. I never bought it, but I always wanted when I was younger to buy the remote control, and it was by Tamiya as well. Funny enough, it was a Monster Beetle, and it looks so good. It looks so good,
dude. I remember growing up, man. I was so fascinated because every once in a while I'd have a buddy that would have like RC cars and stuff, and I wanted one so bad, but the only reason I never got one is because it took them like all day to charge the thing, and then they get to use it for like 5-10 minutes. But then they've gotten much better over the years now. But like, I remember when I was a kid, I was like, oh, I want one, but they weren't cheap. And I was like, that would drive me nuts.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and my buddy's dad, he was really into it. This was out in California, and he actually had like a big like aircraft carrier. And then he had little remote control planes that he would have on it, dude. It was amazing.
Oh, man,
he would let us like fly the planes off of his big ship, dude. Let's see. Topic Brick says also the target audience for Technic sets is adult males who generally have large disposable incomes compared to other consumer groups. Yeah, true enough.
I'll tell you what though, I love that new BMW motorbike. I definitely think I'll buy that. That looks
that is a nice set.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, most people know how I feel about Technic, but I will say though, I highly respect the build of Technic. It's some of the strongest, more durable way to build any kind of Lego set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's definitely a market for it, man.
Dude, a lot of the best, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of the best Lego sets are constructed around the chassis of Technics.
Oh, Star Wars would be god awful if it didn't have Technic. Like you think of like any Millennium Falcon build is based off the Technic. The Razor Crest is as well, because without it, they wouldn't ever be able to have interiors if they were using more system stuff.
Or they would have such a high piece count, it'd be outrageous.
Exactly, yeah. All the buildable characters are built off of the Technic frames, aren't they? And then you just have panels on the side.
They are, but I look at Bionicle and I look at them and I sort of think, what's the difference? It's like, it's almost like it's Star Wars meets Bionicles, they were.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm talking about more like BBA, Grogu, as opposed to
Yoda
as opposed to the buildable figures. Sorry, but yeah, no, that is a very good point. Yeah, that's why I think they didn't do too well, Greg.
Well, I tell you what though, I had the fortune of happened to be in the right place at the right time. Planet, what were they called? Forbidden Planet did a sale. I just happened to be showing someone some brickheads that I thought were quite good to buy at the time.
Yeah,
and they instantly did this flash sale for an hour where even new figures that came out, like Boba Fett, and there was the Darth Vader one, and there was one of the last ones that came out with the troopers from the Solo movie. You know, the ones that are on the trains at the Fur.
Yes, what are they called?
Rangers. I think they're called Rangers.
Yeah, Range Troopers.
Range Troopers. Them, which are really good. They're basically snow troopers on steroids. Yeah. Dude, I got like, I must have bought 6 of those figures for something like £45. I mean, absolutely.
Oh wow!
It really was. Yeah, it was like really good.
Hey Will, how you doing, buddy? And bye Mayo. Thanks for the compliment, appreciate it. And I see Brent's brick out there too. What's up, Brent?
Cheers, Mayo. What's up, man?
Yeah, that sounds like a good deal though.
Yeah, man, I love a good deal, and I still like my brickheads. I mean, brickheads have been around for a little while now, so that's good.
I don't know why. Maybe it was a price thing because I was already buying other stuff. But the other day, I almost bought Ahsoka brickhead, but I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know why I've like kind of told myself in my head that I'm getting that one. Like it's the one that I think of, if it's this thing that I think of like, oh, if I'm gonna go get a promo, like I'll get, oh yeah, if that's in stock, I'll get Ahsoka brickheads. But the only ones that I've got are the Kylo Ren ones.
I've got a handful of them. I don't know. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's just because I was already buying other stuff. And
yeah.
Well, you're into Funkos, aren't you, dude? So you know.
Yeah, it's just essentially the Lego Funko Pop.
Oh, I tell you what, I love though, and I got this one. I got this one recently. I am buying a lot of Black Series. Like I'm buying at least one a month at the minute. Anyway. I know you can laugh, Tech.
It was just the way he was like when he first got it. He was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna collect these ad hoc."
Oh, I got something to show you.
He's the nut.
That's a nice one. I wanted that one too, man. I haven't seen it yet though.
I got the Snow Trooper though for the.
Dude, look at this as well. I can show you the new one I got. Oh, I was happy. This was one I was wanting for a while, man. Because I got the other Revan too, but I saw him. So,
that is good.
Yeah. So, I was like, I bought the minifig from Republic Bricks, and obviously I got my artwork and stuff. But I was like, you know what? I need the Black Series, man.
That's nice.
The only thing left for me to really try and get, and at this point, is the Funko Pop of them, but that's expensive. Macro, oh my goodness, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that, dude. What does that say? Give Brent his $2 back. Did what?
Who's Brent?
Brent. Did I miss something? What do you?
I was just scrolling up and I can't see any other like missed donos or anything. So
yeah, did I miss something? I don't. I'm sorry, Macro. I'm not sure what you mean.
Tell us what you mean, Macro.
Snap says like there's a mock Technic challenge happening between Thomas and Greg.
Well, I tell you though, man, Technic. You got to be on your game. Be building Technic, dude.
Yeah.
When I first got it, I built the Millennium Falcon, and dude, honestly, I know I really enjoyed the Technic on that, but you've got
to be paying attention.
You got to keep an eye on the holes. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. More than any other thing that you'll ever do in your life, you counting holes. You really are,
dude.
So you get that pin in the right place. All right, Tech.
There we go. You don't want to be sticking pins in wrong holes, Greg, do you?
You don't.
The $2 is a joke, Hive. Inside joke to everyone that watches a couple of Brickheads. I mean, I've just mainly started watching them pretty regularly lately. I mean, because I've seen them before, and then I remember when Shy was on there. I think I've been watching like all of them since. So I try and stay up. I usually catch them all now. It's hard for me to stay up till the end just because I get tired easily. But no, I must have missed that joke.
Barry was saying he was with you the other night till at 3 o'clock in the morning UK.
Yeah, man, it was great having Barry on, dude. I hope he wants to come on again sometime.
We were having a laugh about him last night. We were. Oh my god, we ended up on London Calling last night. We ended up going.
Oh, you guys were on late, dude.
Dude, it's because I went through the Lego ideas, all 39 of them, with 9 people on the panel, right?
We did it in
Lego 2 hours. It was really good. Right, we did that segment in 2 hours. But the thing was, I was like, in the end, I was just saying to people, do you think Lego are going to make it?
No one cared to us, yeah. Did they have like a real insight?
I know. I said to Cabbage, do you want to look at your Lego ideas? So he went, no, I'm done with ideas now.
Oh man. Yeah, it's an interesting thing, man. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of them, man.
39. Yeah.
You want to have a bit like you want to have a little bit of a countdown clock, Greg. Are you like, right, start the time, we've got 5 minutes to talk about this one, or like actually probably want less.
Well, that's the thing I love about Doc is Doc basically like will stop me if I start going on too long, man. You know, he'll literally stop. But I told him to. Like I was like, look, if we got to come up with like a safe word or something, man, that's fine. But nah, he'll just shut me down. But it's good because I'll lose track of time and stuff. And but I'm also not checking out 39 Lego ideas.
I mean, it was good. It was very thorough, but it was like, well, that was it was basically last night's stream went on a good 45 minutes longer than it should have. It did it. I thought if I could do it in about half an hour, which was of course impossible. But what I should have done, I watched a couple of people that had done their thoughts on it.
Yeah,
and like they're all like really long, and 45 minutes I think was probably about the average time of those. Right. So try and do it with 9 people in. Because everyone was saying, that was the thing. Everyone was saying, no, I want to say my bit on it as well. And I was like, okay. I was going to do like ask 3 people, then go on to the next one and ask another 3. No. They're all divas on last night on the panel. They were. They all wanted to have their say.
I blame the talent picker.
Oh, and hello, Tina. How are you doing? I also see a couple of Brickheads out there, and I see my brother B-Fab out there. What's going on, B-Fab? Hive and a safe word. Yep. Yeah, I give Mrs. Hive some safe words to use too. So, just be safe. A couple of Brickheads says Hive. The $2 thing was the Brent versus. Oh, that's right. I forgot that involved money. That's right. Well, then why the hell is he telling me to give his $2 back? Man, you need to go over to Bricksy's channel and tell him to give that $2 back. I think that's so funny that both me and Brent aren't really fans of Bricksy. I keep trying to instigate Brent too. I'm like, I'm like, let the hate flow through you.
I thought you'd like Bricksy a bit more these days. Now he's got in some facial hair.
Nah. Well, I mean, look, and I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way. I don't hate the guy or nothing like that. It's nothing like that, and it's nothing real personal. I don't lose sleep over it. Just like I said, he kind of irritated me one time, and I haven't been able to let go of it. And then every once in a while, I hear a story where like he like pissed somebody else off, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll just not like him a little bit longer then.
And it is.
But look again. It's not like, this guy knows anything about me or cares anything about what I'm talking about. So it's not a big deal. But no hate. Just no love. That's all.
Yeah.
Be fabulous. Yeah, I got to start remembering to use be fabulous. That sounds so much better.
It does.
All right, just kind of run down through the comments real quick, just making sure. I didn't miss anything. But yeah, definitely some good conversations about Star Wars and Technic and everything else today. I do love a good conversation.
So how's your bust going then?
Actually, it's going pretty decent. I've got almost the base of it done. So,
Oh no,
I mean, it's a pretty solid base. I mean, for something that's not that big, you know what I mean? Because this is smaller. This isn't like the helmets. It's
I was
the
going to
smaller
say,
bust.
is it smaller than the helmets? I think it is a little bit.
I think it's 350 pieces. The helmets are normally around the 500 mark.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's got 327. It's it's basically 5.5 inches tall.
Okay.
I would love to get that Sith Trooper as well. That would be
that's
the
cool.
ultimate.
Yeah, I wonder why they went down the helmet route and not the bust route.
The only thing I could think of is, and this is something I didn't know until not too long ago. Somebody told me that Lego appoints prices before the sets.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, okay, we need $3 $50 sets with whatever. So like the designers have to build the set according to the price. You know what I mean? So they got to find the pieces and stuff. Yeah. So that's probably why is like, this is 327 pieces, and they're like, they're not going to charge $50 or something for it, I guess.
Check this out, man. I got a nano figure of in it. I didn't realize this came in it. A nano figure. I should watch some reviews on this, really. A nano figure of the Emperor in this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're cool.
I wonder why it's not like a hologram, though.
You can get a hologram one. I can't remember what set it comes in, though.
You think it would have been with the AT-AT? Or no, that would have been Vader. My bad.
It was. I can't remember which one it was as well. That should have come in. Darth Vader hologram should have become with that AT-AT.
Cool.
That was the only thing I could ever think of marking it down on. But there's two come with it as well. That's handy. I do want to get the AT-AT, but I think that's going to be more. I think it's going to be Christmas this year. That one for me, Tech.
Well, I think it's already. I say already. It's come down into what is it? 700 retail. I think it's come just below 600, didn't it, the other day?
Yeah,
May 4. So
but I fancied the gunship before that.
Really?
Yeah, the gunship's like 250 quid. That discounts down to, which is quite good.
Do you know like where you're going to put it though?
No, I've got no idea because it's meant to be a right so and so to.
Yeah, because you can't put it because of the wingspan. You can't put it like up against like on its side because the wing is too long for it to sit on a shelf. But then if you put it that way, it's too front heavy.
That's why I put mine on like a dresser type, not dresser, like a bookshelf. But I put it at a caddy corner. Right. So I put it in the corner of the room so that way the wings can, they have room spread out. Because dude, you can't put that thing anywhere. Like you can't even fit. You can't even walk that thing through a normal doorway.
Really?
Like you have to like maneuver it, like because the wingspan is so long, dude. Brent, you're killing me, dude. You're killing me. You're killing me, man.
What's his
no hate here.
What does it say?
He says I love bricks. He wrote Brisky. Dude, I tell you, man, I absolutely, I know it sounds silly, but I adore those guys over at Couple Brickheads, man. I think all of them are just Sean, Brent, and Max. I think they're all freaking awesome, dude.
Tell us a little bit about them then, because I've not heard of them. I don't understand how I've not heard of them.
Because when they go live, it's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning for you. So, and it's something I was talking to Sean about. I was like, yeah, you guys should just stream earlier because I would definitely be able to catch more of them. I know across the pond, you get a lot more views because you guys are great, man. They have great content, dude. Whether they have a guest on or not. And they have very good positive vibes. They're knowledgeable about Lego. It's just a fun stream, man. They're really cool dudes. So I can't promote them enough, man. But yeah, it's when I think about it, I'll grab a link or something and throw it in the chat. But yeah, they're just 3 dudes, man. That have like this cool stream every Thursday at midnight my time. So yeah, I guess that'd be like 5 in the morning for you, Greg and Tech. So
early.
yeah, but yeah, they're definitely, man. couple of Brickheads, easy to remember. Everybody should go check them out, man. They definitely deserve more love than they have right now. So, Hive simping for a couple of Brickheads. Moto, what's going on, Moto? Thank you, Moto. I appreciate that, and Greg appreciates this also. So it's so nice, man. Everybody's showing us love for our anniversary.
3 years. Does it feel like 3 years, Hive? Because
it feels like it's been longer, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it does with me actually as well.
Like I'm not, because I'm like
for any good marriage though, isn't it? It's like, oh, how long have you been together?
I mean, because I don't know, Greg. It feels like we've been on here longer than 3 years, dude.
Yeah,
it really does. I'm not saying it feels like it's been 10, but I don't know. Like when I saw I was like 3 year anniversary, I was like, man, it really feels more like 4. But no, it's
3 solid years. I mean, as of tomorrow, I suppose we click into that 4th year.
Yeah.
Today, is it actually today, the 7th?
No, it's
because
we both have I think we have a 4 or 5 day span of when we both started. But,
it's super close. And bearing in mind, we didn't even know each other or anything like that at the time.
Right. But we just, it's kind of like people's birthdays a lot. You know what I mean? Like if it's on a Wednesday, usually you celebrate on the weekend or something like that. Even though Hump Day is a good day to celebrate your birthday. Zizou, what is he saying? I keep telling myself I'm not going to watch a couple of Brickheads because it's so late, but somehow I keep watching. I know, right? It's kind of like Ninja with his randomness streams. I absolutely love them, but I'll be damn, dude, if I can't stay awake through the whole thing, man. I'm not joking. There have been so many times, couple Brickheads, Ninja stream. I'll be literally watching here, and at some point I wake up and the stream's over with, and I'm like, I fell asleep. I'm got drool all over the desk or something, Oldendorf, you guys are funny. Macro revealing his side hustle. We know you simp too. I saw the Build a Dork Sierra video. Dude, that girl.
Oh, good.
No, man, she's sweet as could be. You know what I mean? It's super cool, super nice. But yeah, she I don't know.
She's got
Sorry, who's this as sweet as can be? I don't believe this for a second.
She's got an incredible taste in music, I will say that.
Yes. Dude, she's definitely bubbly, man.
Bubbly.
I mean, she's super nice and stuff. But
who? What's her name? What's her name?
Build a Dork
Kira.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Hold on a second. I'll let me see if I can find it for you.
Greg, this is going to be Greg's next London Cooling Class.
I'm always looking for recruits.
Here we go. Hold on a minute.
She's on Instagram.
No, I'm gonna.
Oh, that's a shame.
No, she is. No, she is on Instagram. She's not on YouTube.
Nah, I mean, she's actually, I'd say a lot of her humor is probably like you, Greg. She's cheeky.
Mm-hmm. I like cheeky humor.
I know you do. All right, I'm gonna put her link in message to you. There you go. I just heard somebody jump in. Oh, we got a guest. Oh. It's the Craigster. What's up, brother?
Hello,
how you doing, man?
I'm good, thank you. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
You did.
Gosh,
you're looking very well. Look, you've had a haircut.
I've been to council, had my haircut, yeah.
Good stuff.
Oh, right on.
Give us a side profile. It looks nice. That's well short on that side. Look at that.
Craig's could be like. So, what else is going on with you, brother?
Nothing. I've just been having my haircut and chilling out today. Nice, easy day, building my castle. That's about it.
Nice. Thank you for joining us.
No problemo.
Good to have you here, dude. How you getting on with your castle anyway?
Good, yeah. Just adding to it. I wanted to get it out of the way so I could start in 3 and 1, but I've still got a bit to do yet. So
I've been literally trying to avoid looking too much and loving too much all this castle stuff, man. Because I really would like to start building some castles, but it's just, you know, it's a Padme thing, man. It's just a path I can't, you know, walk down right now, dude. I can't, dude. Come on, man.
You don't want to die with a broken heart, Hive.
Oh my god, dude.
Lose the will to live. Sometimes it does feel like that when you're ranting. I think I can lose the will to live.
Well, I mean, and every once in a while I catch myself, you know, even though I decided I am going to get a hold of Rich and talk about maybe redoing like the addiction video we were talking about doing, but I stopped because I was like, I just feel like it's gonna be too depressing. I just feel like I'm gonna just bring too many people down or something, man. I was like, I better not do that, dude. So I decided to kind of rework it a little bit, shave some of it off, and just kind of just stick to some facts, you know, some speculations about some things. Because I feel it's important. It's just a matter of the execution of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it you know, it revolves, of course, or kind of around Lego, but it's a broader subject. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And addiction comes in many forms. So, but yeah, it's such an interesting subject. That's why I wanted to do to kind of talk about it. You know?
And it's something you filmed already, is it?
No, I just did tons of research because, ironically enough, trying to figure out a lot of stuff from Lego, you can't get answers for. You know what I mean? Because they're just not transparent enough with how they work a lot of stuff, like their marketing. So I had to go to other companies that there is information for, like, you know, like Coca-Cola, or, you know, like there is a lot of different companies that I looked at, you know, everything from like Coca-Cola to Nerf. I looked at Nerf, to like Dunkin' Donuts, to just all kinds of different companies and marketing tools that they use as far as like, you know, like, so one of the biggest arguments that I can't get past, and the reason why it's kind of a nuanced discussion, is because somebody can always go to the argument of, you don't have to buy it. You don't like something, you don't have to get it. You know what I mean? But that's why there's addiction. That's the whole point of addiction, is you can't necessarily help yourself sometimes. You know what I mean? But there is still that argument. You know what I mean? So because the problem, and this is something I was discussing with Mrs. Hive and her mom, because her parents are visiting us right now. And something about Mrs. Hive is she has strong willpower, dude. Like strong willpower. Like she can force herself to make sure she takes care of this or doesn't do this, or she's never had addiction problems. She's never not paid her bills. She's extremely disciplined, man. You know what I mean? Her mom's like that too. And they sometimes think that other people can be just as disciplined as them because they can be like that. And I try to explain, like, that's not the case. Like, my brain does not work like that at all. Like, my brain is so scattered and chaotic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I am the complete opposite almost of that strong willpower thing. I have an addictive personality, man, so I have to be careful. If I start getting and tasting too much stuff, like, I'll lose myself, you know. But anyway, so it's an argument, man. Like I said, there's no clear-cut answers to stuff. There's a lot of gray area. And the thing about Lego is it's clear, because even people joke. You see people joke about it all the time. Like, it's clear, we all know Lego is expensive. You know what I mean? But we still joke about it. You know what I mean? And it doesn't seem like a lot of people, or almost nobody at all, really takes it seriously, of like the shopping addiction part of it. And how expensive it can be. And, you know, just, I don't know, if anything, usually I get more kickback and I get people defending Lego more than anything. Some people even defend Lego. It's just tooth and nail, dude. It doesn't matter. Like, Lego does no wrong. So I don't know, you know, like I said, I try and find a good balance, because I clearly praise Lego, you know what I mean, when they do great stuff. And it's never anything about the sets, like the design or the material or nothing like that. The designers, dude, amazing, talented people. It's just, I don't know, like, it's more of the company sometimes, you know, that the decision making. So I don't know, you know, there's a lot to it. It's a very broad subject, you know, and there's no like clear cut answers to anything. And it's not just Lego, like just addiction to anything, dude.
Yeah.
Because think about food. Like think about like fast food, junk food, all that stuff, and how bad it is for you. You know what I mean? And not even just how bad it is for you, but like at least here in America, what it's doing to just Americans in general. You know what I mean? Like we're becoming more unhealthy and stuff like this. But you wouldn't make hamburgers illegal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? So it's like, but clearly there's a problem. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do you handle that stuff? You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
we just tax it. We have sugar tax in this country.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did something like that in New York too, where they charged more tax or something for like a large like soda beverage. You know what I mean? And it really made a lot of people mad because, and I understand it because it's about freedom. Like, who are you to tell me what I can and can't eat? You know what I mean? Like, you're basically trying to force me to stop by charging more. You know what I mean? So I get that argument, and I don't even know like what direction. That's why I said this was a difficult subject to even try and bring up with Lego. You know what I mean? Because it's
I can see that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But anyways, yeah. So it's a crazy topic. But it's definitely an interesting one. What tech stand for anyway? The Egg King. Actually, Tech, I don't think I've ever asked you about that.
That's just my initials.
Oh, all right. Well, good enough.
He's got quite a posh name, really.
I don't have a posh name. What are you talking about?
You got a well toffee name.
He's such a liar.
It is. It's well posh.
I can put. Do you know what, Greg?
It says Greg the Second.
Yeah. I can comfortably say that my surname my Greg says it's posh because I've got two surnames.
It's double-barrel.
It's a double-barrel surname, so I can officially say my full name and then go the first. The first.
Oh man. What's everybody saying out there? Brent says I don't have a problem. I have a collection. Sure you do, Brent.
Honestly, TikTok there's a whole philosophy of TikTok and reels out there. I
mean, and look, I'm probably a special case. I don't think as many people are as bad as I am. Like I'm like food, because the reason I also wanted to talk about addiction is because I've been addicted to a few different things, like hardcore. Like I was addicted to tobacco. Like I just quit smoking cigarettes like 3 years ago. You know what I mean? I've dabbled and gotten very close to being seriously addicted to a few different drugs. And then there's food. Like, and food by far has been the worst thing I've been addicted to, man. Like ever since I turned into a teenager, man, I just love to eat. Like I love to eat all the time, dude. It's crazy. It's why I got diabetes, man. But that's been the hardest thing to try and, fight. And a lot of people thought it was because of like sweets and stuff, but it's not. It's not sweets. I can actually chill off sweets, man, but it's just carbs, because carbs break down on sugar. So like I love pizza, I love chips, I love fries, I love pasta, like a lot. Yeah, a lot of stuff that's got a lot of carbs. And then the one thing as a diabetic, man, that I used to be able to eat totally guilt-free was either cucumbers, pickles, which obviously the same thing, right? But, right. But check this out. But pickles are really high in sodium. You know what I mean? So you don't want to get too crazy on that. And then so it was cucumbers, right? But then at Brick Fair, Virginia, we all went out to eat, right? And Lauren, Bryce, which Bricks, she's sitting next to me and we were talking about it. I was telling her, I was like, yeah, cucumbers, I can eat them guilt-free, whatever. And she's like, oh, well, she's like, be careful. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, the seeds in cucumbers, she's like, if you eat too much of them, like they get stuck in your intestines and like then I forget what the disease name is, but then it gets infected and blah, blah. I was like, what?
Thanks, Lauren, for putting me on my
Well, it sounds like the worst person to go to dinner with, Lauren.
Yeah, remind me not to go eat with Lauren.
Well, I mean, I'm glad she told me. Don't get me wrong. It's good to know these things, but I was like, oh god, I was so depressed, dude. I was so sad. But yeah. So food was a big one, man. And then Lego came into my life, and I would have never guessed I would be going as hard as Lego as I am, man. It's crazy. Oldendorf, thank you for the donation. What does that say? I don't mind wait, I don't mind joining the panel building the Star Wars set, but I very quiet person when speaking on screen. Oh well, I appreciate it, Oldendorf. But we already kind of had guests planned out for the anniversary stream. But you, dude, if you want to join any of the streams I'm on, man, definitely let me know. I'm just horrible usually at inviting people. Especially like if you've never been on here. But my main rule of thumb with joining the panels on the streams is, one, you either had to have someone vouch for you if I didn't know you very well. So like if Greg knew you and I didn't know you, and Greg's like, yeah, totally cool guy or whatever, I would be like, okay, you need to jump on. Or I just see you out there long enough and I can trust you. You know what I mean? Which I obviously do, Oldendorf. You've been around a while. Just like I'm trying to see if I got parts for your sig fig. So yeah, on any of their streams, man, like I said, if you want to join, just let me know. Actually, I don't know if I'm just looking at your profile pic, but I was going to say next time we do like a castle theme or like a Lord of the Rings theme or something like that.
Yeah, medieval stuff he's into.
Yeah, I'll definitely have you on for that. Minifig who says cucumbers are not good? You mean like they don't taste good or just not good?
Cucumbers are a bit boring, but it's what you dip them in makes them a bit more interesting.
I like them, man. And they're like, like other types
Why
of
do you like cucumbers? I mean, they're just water, green water, aren't they?
I think that's why I like them a lot. It's there are some fruits or vegetables that I like a lot just because of how
I like them with cream cheese,
hydrated they are,
and smoked salmon bagels. That's nice.
Well, the point of me eating the cucumbers is to be good for me. So it's kind of like when I have a salad and I just dump like ranch dressing all over it or something. It's like it's defeating the purpose. But yeah, I totally get it. Cabbage face, what's up?
I get it.
Cucumbers are so nice.
And Andrew Phillips, how are you doing, Andrew? Thank you for being here.
Cucumbers are so nice. How do you eat yours, Cabbage?
Straight to the back of the throat.
Oh man. Yeah.
Let's not go there.
And then there's some vegetables that I like sometimes cooked one way and I don't like them cooked another way. Like carrots. I love raw carrots, but man, I want to vomit anytime anybody cooks them.
Really?
I'm
Yeah.
the opposite of that with mushrooms. Like,
well, mushrooms I can eat either way.
Raw mushrooms, I'm like, that is the vile. Like, why would anybody bother? Cook them, fry them, put them in the oven, like whatever. Oh, I'm all over them.
And then there's some things I like cooked differently on different things. Like for instance, like onions. Mm-hmm. I can eat onions sauteed or raw. I can, right? Mm-hmm. I can eat them sauteed or raw on burgers. I can eat them sauteed or raw on hot dogs. But man, if you put onions on a pizza, I will lose my mind, dude. I cannot stand it. Mm-hmm. I can't stand it, dude. Generally with pizza, I only like just meat. I just usually get like a lot of meat on my pizza, dude.
I don't like pineapple on pizza, man. That's wrong.
Yeah, Mrs. Hive loves that. And I used to like it, but I lost my taste for it.
Minifig who says he gets hooked on pickled onions. What's the matter with you lot out there?
I'd need to try those. I really do. I don't know if I'd like them or not.
They're like really they're the sort of thing that makes me gag initially, and then I'm all right with them.
They're like a cucumber, probably.
It depends how you eat it, Tech.
That's what I was
saying. There it's consumed.
Oldendorf says, "Who eats the freaky fungus?" Dude, I love me some mushrooms, man.
Oh man, mushrooms are incredible.
Yeah.
I like mushrooms.
Mushrooms on pizza is just elite.
Mushrooms on pizza is good, man.
I like stuffed mushrooms.
Oh yes.
Well, with garlic butter.
Oh yes.
Anything.
Good stuff.
Like peppers, stuffed mushrooms.
Right, yeah.
So like yesterday, we went out for dinner for our anniversary, and we went to this nice like seafood restaurant, which is great because Mrs. Hive hates seafood, so it's so nice when we get to go once in a while. But man, I had some crab cakes that were so good, man. They're so good. Oh my god, I love crab cakes. Brick and Bot. Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say Brick and Bot. It's Brick and Brood. Hey there, Macro Inside. Oh, okay. He's saying hi. Oh, Sai. What's up, Sai? How you doing? Size in the house. And Two Humble Bricks, what's going on? How you doing? Will says Funyuns are delicious. Yeah, I mean, you know, Funyuns are all right. I think when it comes to chips, like that type of stuff, I'm still always going to be kind of a fan of Doritos, man. I just love, especially Cool Ranch. But those other ones they got that are like sweet and spicy, I forget. They might just be called sweet and spicy. I'm not sure, but they are really good. I was looking for some of those hot chips that Ninja and Doc ate.
Oh man, that's a funny video.
Yeah, I was gonna like try one, and I can't find them.
Man, he was cracking me up when I was watching that. I was just laughing my head off, especially with Ninja. Goes,
Yeah, dude.
I ain't cried this much since my dad left me. Seriously, man. I was like, shit.
Yeah, they crack me up, dude. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people take that challenge, dude, and they did not do well.
Doc was on a video of mine last night. He sent me a video because we was talking about Doc Samson. Oh, that was it. Matt drew a picture of Doc looking. I think he was looking up Darth Vader's helmet. It was a weird picture. Matt, if you're out there, send it to me. And I said, and he drew Doc's nose and eyes like they look like sort of male genitals, so like balls and a willy sort of thing.
Oh, kind of like what's his face from the Muppets.
Yeah, like it was like Gonzo, but it was pink, and it looked like, you know, it just
it was pink too, huh?
Rude. And I said, Matt, don't get me wrong, good work. He looks like this, but also I don't think Doc's got a nose. And anyway, that triggered Doc, who was in the chat, and he sent me a video saying, "I have got a nose. Here's my nose, and this is it." And blah, blah, blah. But he kind of had a little starring segment on it last night because I was showing off his video that he sent me. That was quite good.
Yeah, I feel like Doc is like one of the only people that get triggered as much as me. Like, god damn, man, nobody call him a freaking puppet, please.
No, he called himself a felt person.
He's a felt person.
Yeah, felt.
Yeah, like.
And
He's like telling me one day, he's like, "Is it so hard? Is it so hard to call me a felt person?"
Yeah, and he never answered the question that if he gets inappropriately touched, do they call that felt up?
That is great. That is great. Yeah. It's. I just think it's funny, man, that because like so many times, man, people are like, have told me like, you know, like, I don't know, for instance, like I won't, you know, I don't want to say this because I don't want you to get mad. I'm like, dude, you ain't gotta worry about me, man. It's like Doc's the one you gotta worry about. Like everybody might think it's me they gotta worry about. I was like, no, it's Doc, dude. Trust me. You know, if he goes on a tire dude. Yeah,
just the way it is, old enough. Yeah, Doc cracks me up, man. Like, when he goes. He did a video once with Cy O'Connor, doing an impression of Cy O'Connor, and the video I think was like 2 minutes long, and for 1 minute 30 minutes, 1 minute 30 seconds, he was just doing an impression of Cy O'Connor. Top of the world, here, top of the world. All that. That's what he said for like 1 minute and 30.
Yeah, it drives me crazy when he does that.
He's like a record that's stuck.
But yeah, definitely some good times. Man, where's this damn piece? Come on now. That's what I get when I'm like, it's all black pieces on a black desk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't wear sunglasses and build that set, dude.
Oh my gosh. And like I can't seem to talk and look for it at the same time.
Is that an issue with your eyes? Like when you open your mouth, your eyes close or something?
Nah, man, it's just because if I start focusing on what I'm talking about, then all the pieces start blending together. I'm like, oh, what?
Professor out of the Muppets. They're the one that looks like Cy O'Connor. He's like that, and when he talks, he's got
Cy. I was gonna ask you about that professor from the Muppets using as your sig fig, but ironically, Rich is, I think Rich has a head for you. He's gonna send to me.
I've got a Psy.
Oh, is it just one that looks like Psy?
No, I mean the only ones I could find that were flesh colored was Harry Potter, and I'm like, well, I don't know if he wants a lightning bolt on his forehead. You know what I mean?
But I think Psy reminds me of the one out of the Lego movie. You know, the good cop, bad cop.
Oh yeah.
That is Psy O'Connor.
Yeah, which the smiling one.
Yeah,
the one that's hand drawn.
yeah. That's even that is
Oh,
the
yeah,
level. That is the level of Psy's artwork. That is. You wouldn't disagree with that, neither.
Minifig here says Doc was not happy on Star Wars Day this week. No, Doc was not. And look, for good reason, man. You totally got shafted on Star Wars Day. And you know it's crazy.
Why? What happened? What happened?
Well, you know, the craziest thing was I was having a horrible morning on hey, what's up, Journal? The Scott's in the house. I was having a horrible morning on Sunday morning for May the 1st. Like, just the morning was going so wrong. So many things just not going right. And Doc was having a beautiful, wonderful morning on Sunday the 1st. Now, I got to the Lego store before him because I'm on the East Coast. Yeah. So when I was there, that's when we did the streaming thing, and which was just insanity. But something happened when we did the stream where things flipped. And from that point after the stream, my day was beautiful. It was wonderful. I got everything I wanted. I was in a short line at the Lego store. Just everything worked out, man. Really great. Doc's day turned to complete dog shit. Dude, he had a horrible time at the Lego store. Like, he didn't get none of the promotional stuff. The line was insane. Like, yeah, it was just horrible. So it was weird how, like, we had these complete opposite days, and then, like, it was like a nexus point when we did the stream, and then it switched, and then his day turned awful and mine turned great. So dude, yeah, bad. Poor Doc. He had a horrible May the 1st.
But it was nice that you joined my stream that afternoon, so that was good.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun.
Dude, that was a good stream, and that's done well as well. So I'm well happy about that.
Yeah, it was good times, man. Definitely.
It was a really different sort of stream as well, because like half of it was building Aunt Beru and her IKEA kitchen, and the other half was unbagging all the Muppets and doing a tier thing on that. That was just good fun. Yeah, it was a fun stream too, man. So had some good laughs. It was a good giggle, and Opie was on there as well, which was nice. So you got to meet him. Yeah, definitely. Real quick, I just wanted to say, everybody, please. Definitely check out everybody that's on the panel. Check out their channels. The links are in the description below for everybody's channel. And you know, if you get a chance, definitely check out each other's channels too. You know, if you get time, go see what everybody else is up to. And if you could like and subscribe, all that happy stuff. Give the stream a thumbs up, folks. It lets people out there know who we are. Please that do. We're alive, that we're streaming, and all that jazz. Yeah, the algorithm really likes that kind of stuff, and we try and get on that algorithm wave and hang 10, you know. But it's not easy sometimes, you know. The algorithm is a fickle mistress, and it's hard to please her. Victoria, what's happening? Victoria Fisher in the house. Brent says I got all 3 gift purchases, got the set I wanted, and all but 2 Muppets. I'm a happy camper. Right on, man. Good. You know, that's something else that I don't feel like we complain about enough, is the CMF blind bag stuff, man. Don't complain enough about. What's why do you compliment them having blind bags? I don't see a problem with it. Yeah. What's your beef with it, Hive? Because you don't know what the fuck you're getting, dude. Why else would I have beef with it? You don't see that stuff. You don't see that stuff going on with like the Black Series or anything, man, or Funko Pops. You know it's like trading cards. It's no different to trading cards. Yeah, but trading cards are worse. At least you got half the chance of feeling them. No, I don't agree with the trading cards either. But at least with trading cards, you know what I mean. You have multiple cards in a pack. But nah, man. I mean,
it's such a lame thing, you know what I mean?
But you must have been even happier when they put them in boxes.
Oh no, not at all, not at all.
I think the bigger argument to come out of like controversy around CMFs is probably more in their favor. The fact that they can do a whole wave of figures for like and sell them at what, like £3.50, like $5, whatever they are. Yeah. They won't do new molds across like loads and loads of other themes for certain characters or like different things like that. But they can give a CMF that they're going to spend that makes them a decent profit at £3.50. So that's got to cost them at least half to like produce a new mold for that character, right? And it's like a limited run. It's not even something that they can keep using over and over again. I think like the Darksaber that we haven't had a mold for in 10 years that they could reuse over and over again.
Right.
We're going to get. We've got Miss Piggy now that's going to come once and then we'll never see her again. And it's like, well,
no, I agree. We need a Darksaber. It's like that. It is lame that we haven't got a proper Darksaber. From a Star Wars fan's point of view, it's like, come on, Lego, you haven't got to change up too many things.
Well, no, I mean, but they've made so many different swords for like Ninjago, and like I was even talking about like I had it laying around here, but like I had a Raya. Was it the Last Dragon or whatever it's called? I had one of those poly bags, and there was like a sword with 2 snakes on it, man, for her. And I'm like,
oh, dude,
they gave Raya a molded sword before they made a Darksaber, huh?
I was all in with those Raya and mini doll sets, like Tech. I was like, I love them. They're like,
I bought that boat one with the shrimp on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they were good sets, man.
But if they do a Darksaber, you'll have nothing to complain about.
Oh, we will.
No, yeah, believe me.
We'll be like, why is it not the right color? Or why is it not
how easy it is?
Or...
Yeah, that's why they do it.
Why does it chafe my minifingers' hands or something like that?
My minifinger.
It's like not doing the goat, isn't it? You're doing a theme of farm, and you're doing completely new. You're doing a sheep where you can shear it, and you're not doing a goat because they know we want it, and we can keep us whinging about it and generating traffic around it. Because even a rant video about them not doing a Darksaber is marketing for Lego, isn't it?
Yeah,
essentially, yeah. That's very true.
But do you not think there's like a certain payoff with it? And it comes down to like the Commander Cody and like the redoing Captain Rex. Like these characters are so in demand at this point. It has to be more cost effective for them to do it than to not do it. Like yes, okay, it's generating marketing, it's like building up hype and stuff, but the amount of people that would go out day one if a set had a Commander Cody, the amount of people that would have bought that gunship and not wanted the gunship, but if there was Cody in it, would have paid for it. It's crazy.
Well, that's why sometimes I wonder if it's more of like, I'm trying to figure out how to say this the right way. That Lego is like, I don't want to say that they don't care about what we think, but I feel like Lego is just like, look, we are not making anything demanding on what you guys want. We make what we want when we want it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I feel like that was the argument about like for the longest time with the 501st is because they're like, well, if we make it, then everybody's going to think like we're just going to make stuff like when everybody demands it. And, you know, which I think is a horrible business move, honestly. I'm not saying you got to model your whole entire line off just what fans want exactly, but you definitely should have a lot more input. What do you got going on there, Greg? Is that, oh my goodness.
So
you get that whole base.
3 bags in now. And, it's looking pretty amazing.
Dude, it looks super amazing. That would be so good to have like right next to the beach.
I would love to see them do that at like UCS scale.
I was going to say, do you know what? Give us a
£500.
Yes,
that would be insane. You could have light up fixtures in the lava.
Yeah, I agree. That would look really rad.
That would look great, like sort of like a Daily Bugle size.
Yeah,
or like a bit bigger than that.
Bye, Macro. Have a good day, brother. Thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Take care, Macro. Good to see you, dude.
You did see that we're getting a Cody though, didn't you?
But that's not confirmed yet, though, right?
It's on promo bricks. It's a given.
I mean, Yeah,
Because the first thing they said something about on there that is it a new mold or a different type of mold for the helmets?
it has
So-
to be. That's why they've delayed it so long. Is because
then
when they
straight away-
upgraded,
Straight away, everyone's gone. Oh no, that means all our old molded helmets are useless now. Thanks, Lego. It's like what?
well,
What do you want?
That would be a funny caveat.
It's like, what are you after?
I'll tell you what I'd like, right?
Right.
I'd like Commander Cody with the hologram of the Emperor. That would be a good one. Is that the right phase? That is the right phase, isn't it, Tech?
it depends what they do. I mean, in theory, yes, it would be if it's the ATT that we're going to get this summer, then it would be the point in which he receives Order 66. Yeah, so it would work quite well if he had a hologram of the Emperor. That would be pretty cool.
That would be.
But again, they've put it in an expensive set, haven't they?
Yeah, which I don't have a problem with. I think people more so have a problem with it now because Lego have come and said that they don't want to do it, and now they've kind of backtracked on that.
Yeah, they have backtracked massively.
So I think that's more of a problem there. But I don't mind. Like I said, I would have bought the gunship if it had Cody in it. I'd have waited for it to go on sale, but I would have bought it. But I've got no interest in it now.
Yeah, I'd be really curious to see what this set looks like too.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah,
Because I don't know, man.
Yeah, because the rumored figure list for the Cad Bane ship looks interesting as well. Did you see the rumored?
Yeah, it's
I was
like
okay.
Cad Bane, Omega, and is it the little droid as well? Cad Bane's little droid, is it Todo?
Yeah.
But wasn't it one of the Kaminoans?
Oh, Kaminoans,
I was
Yeah, that's in
Kaminoans.
the Jedi's in everyone's Starfighter, apparently, isn't it?
Oh no, I don't know actually. I thought the latest rumor was that there was going to be in that, but then it wouldn't surprise me if they're doing both. If they've got a new mold, they might.
Yeah, they put them in loads, won't they?
Two different characters, yeah.
I had an idea for a character we haven't had yet, and it's only because again I saw him in Rebels, and I was like, surely there's a figure of this guy, but there wasn't, and that's Sol Guerrera.
Saw Gerrera, yeah.
Yeah, why have we not had one here? I mean, he was proper extreme rebellion for sure, but
Yeah, you'd think that he would have been in a Rogue One set, you know,
Yeah.
Who was the one character in Rogue One that I'm surprised we didn't get?
just like Urso's dad too. He was another one.
Yeah, so yeah.
yeah, so man, dying for
Yeah, you'd thought they'd
One
just
in-
stick him in those sets, wouldn't you?
And he was a really pivotal character in that movie, even though he wasn't in it a whole lot, but he definitely was a pivotal character, dude.
yeah.
I mean, without him, he created the Death Star. I mean, like,
Mhm.
or not
Yeah.
created the Death Star, but the
the weakness he created.
the weakness, right?
Oh man, and he's such a Mads Mikkelsen is such a good actor as well.
So yeah, so good, dude, so good. Like he's so good in anything that he's in.
Yeah, when he played Hannibal Lecter in the TV series Hannibal, my God, I mean, it was proper off the wall stuff, but it was so beautifully shot and he was so well acted that I kind of believed it, you know.
No, he made a wonderful Hannibal, man.
It's his
He
brother
did
that plays Thrawn, isn't it? And he's going to play him in the live action.
Oh, is it?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know he had a brother that was an actor.
Yeah, his brother voiced Thrawn in Rebels and is heavily rumored to have been cast as the role for live action.
How does that happen though? Because they did that with the Mandalorian person, the one with the red hair.
Oh, Bo-Katan, yeah.
How did they do? Did they like take on people that look like them and have?
Well, no, a lot of the in the Clone Wars, a lot of the characters for those like new characters were modeled on as just like a little bit of like homage to the voice actors and actors.
Oh, I didn't know that. Tech.
Yeah, they modeled them based like on their figure because like Ahsoka is like loosely based off of Ashley Eckstein as well. I think she was just a bit too short to play Ahsoka in the end. I would have been interested to know if they. I really want to know if they like offered the part to Ashley Eckstein or not for Ahsoka for live action.
Yeah,
because I don't know. There's something about her being cast as someone new that I don't know. Ashley Eckstein like was a great performance.
Here's something I'm going to put the money on, folks. I bet we get a new version of this in the Kenobi series.
What you gonna do?
Vader.
Oh yeah. Tech, I want to add something about what you were just saying too, man.
Yeah.
Because you were talking about with like Ahsoka, right?
Yeah.
But the same thing kind of happened with Harley Quinn in the DC universe, because I can't think of her name right off the top of my head, man. But the lady one of the main lady that voiced Harley Quinn, she's voiced like tons and tons of stuff, and she's acted before. She's talented, she's beautiful, but she would have made a perfect Harley Quinn, man. Not just because of the voice, but you dye her hair, she would have looked just like her too, man.
Yeah.
And they didn't. They chose, Margot Robbie, which she did a fantastic job. Don't get me wrong. But it's kind of, I remember a lot of people talked about Wolverine as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because Hugh Jackman is about easily a foot too tall, man, to be really playing Wolverine.
Too tall, isn't he?
Yeah, really. Yeah, about 2 feet too tall. I mean, Wolverine is just short, stocky, hairy guy, man. He is, dude. I remember, like, when I read the comic books, like, it was anytime Wolverine didn't have his shirt on or something, like, I'd be like, man, he's got a lot of hair on his back, man. It's like, but that was like, I remember a long time ago, the guy I thought would have been perfect to play Wolverine, even though he wasn't an actor, and he definitely wouldn't now. But back in the day, I thought Danzig would have been perfect to play Wolverine, dude, because Danzig had like kind of like the hair sort of like Wolverine. He was short. Danzig's short. He's stocky. But yeah, obviously, he's not an actor. So, Moto says it sure wasn't the movie writing. Or in Journal, Scott says fans would go wild if Lego did a Jedi, Sith, and then clone-based CMF. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't even know how to even reply to that, because if they made a CMF, because dude, and here's the thing, man, if they made a Star Wars CMF pack, like there's going to be a Darth Vader, there's going to be a Luke Skywalker, there's going to be like a handful of them that they're definitely going to make. So that like wipes off like some of the list already, but there is just so many interesting characters that now see Aunt Beru, she would have been a good CMF pack character, man.
You're right. She didn't
not a $100 or not a $200 or $160 gift purchase. You know what I mean? Even though I don't want to complain about that too much, because yes, as far as exclusive goes, yeah, man, that's one like a seriously exclusive minifigure. You know what I mean? So as far as collectability and all that, it's definitely awesome. But Moto said the animated series are the reason so many people love the prequel characters and vehicles.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah, I would say so. And that's something to be said for the prequels as well. We didn't really get anything like that for like the original trilogy. You know what I mean? Like, we've gotten shows and stuff, but nothing like how the Clone Wars was, dude. The Clone Wars was
your guys' equivalent was having a lot of the like comics and magazines and stories.
Yes,
around the like filling in the gaps between the films, right?
Well, and that's the thing. A lot of younger people don't understand, and for good reason. How could you? You know what I mean? But like for a lot of people that are older, like, dude, we were yearning for something, man. Like, we couldn't get enough Star Wars. That's why we loved all those comics and books, and like, because we didn't have the prequels yet or anything. Because I remember, man, when Phantom Menace came out, like, just how insane it was, dude. Like, how insane. Like, Craig and Greg, I'm sure you guys remember, dude, right? I mean, just when that shit came out in the theater, and just how insane like the hype was around that. And even I didn't even know going into it what everything was about. Like, I knew it had something to do with Vader, but like, you didn't see Vader, you know what I mean? And then it's called the Phantom Menace, and you're like, what the shit, and then you see Maul on the movie poster, and you're like, what the,
I saw it 3 times in a row.
I can't remember how many times I saw it, dude.
Stayed in cinema, man. Just went and bought another ticket.
Same thing with, like, I know everybody gives Attack of the Clones shit, but I loved Attack of the Clones, man. Yes, some of the acting and whatever, but like, I loved that movie, dude. I didn't like it as much as Revenge of the Sith.
Kenobi had a bad mullet in that one. He was overgroomed.
Yeah, the bad bit, didn't they?
That's where the whole Obi-Wan Jesus memes came from too. Was
Yeah.
they were doing
Maybe for those memes alone, it was worth it. But other than that,
I know. Right? I remember a long time ago, I saw somebody had like put a picture of Obi-Wan on their like grandmother's wall or something.
Yeah.
Something that looked like Jesus.
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, I remember just how crazy it was, dude, and how awesome it was to see all that stuff, dude. I even back then, dude, the rant was strong in me because I remember like, because I remember like telling my dad, like, because my dad and I we saw everyone together, you know. So every time we walk out of the theater, I'd always look at him and be like, But so with that one, I remember asking him about just I don't know, man. Just some of the way the dialogue worked, I wasn't sure like what some of them meant. But yeah, I don't know. It was just really wild. I just did enjoy them so much though, man. They were great movies.
The stories were good. That's the thing. The story was there,
Yeah.
Which was what was lacking in the sequels.
Well, the sequels, the biggest problem was, I mean, there's a lot of problems, but I think just the main one that probably would have solved a lot of problems was if they just had a coherent storyline for right.
Project
Like
Legion.
why? Then that's something a lot of people bring up, like not even just to complain, but like the question about like Disney, you spent multiple billions of dollars on this property, and you guys just went willy-nilly, like you didn't plan for it, you weren't coordinated or constructed enough, like, you know. And I also understand from like a director's point of view and stuff, like I'm sure Disney was breathing down their necks, dude, you know, like you got this timeline, you know, pressure, like get it done. But they really should have taken a cue from Kevin Feige, man. And because the MCU is like obviously not all the movies are perfect or anything, they have their issues and stuff, but one thing, man, is they constructed and did world building on a scale no one has ever done before, dude.
I don't think it'll ever get done again, to be honest.
I don't think so either. Because no one has the patience for it. DC, they could have done great stuff, man, but they just tried too much too fast. And it's like, dude, you've got to take your time, man. That's why that worked. We got Iron Man, and we got the Hulk, but you know, whatever. But you know, then we got Captain America, then we got Thor, you know, then we got the Avengers, you know what I mean? And then it just started expanding from there. But like, you can't make 2 movies and then make a Justice League movie and then think like it's all gonna work out. You know, you're cramming too much stuff into one movie.
Yeah. And I think with those Iron Man films, I didn't really watch them or get into them, but like they also, from what I've heard, they stand alone on their own. Like they don't feel like they're part of a section. Whereas, for example, Book of Boba Fett, you have to know so much other stuff to even really be into it at all. Like that whole Mando thing. If Book of Boba Fett was the first thing you're watching, and you go. Like Mando shows up and they go see it.
And you're like, who the hell is this guy?
Whatsoever. Like,
because think about it, they don't explain anything in that episode, like who he is, what he's doing there, nothing. We just expect all of us to just know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're right. That's something I've also noticed is a problem with a lot of different types of studios is you need to know, you need to have seen this show, or you need to have read the Star Wars encyclopedia or something or whatever. And even you know, again, not spoiling anything, but even Multiverse of Madness is like that, dude. You know, there's a lot of stuff. If you haven't seen WandaVision, you know, you're not gonna understand some of it, man. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. And like Star Wars was super bad about that, where if you didn't see, like you said, if you didn't see Mando, you wouldn't have known what the hell Mando was doing in the Book of Boba Fett. It's Boba Fett's show, you know what I mean? Especially like in that one particular episode, because you don't even see Boba Fett. Like the whole,
exactly.
it's like, can you imagine if that was the first episode you'd seen? Like, and you're just like, what the hell is this, dude?
Boba Fett's changed his armor and sounds different now. Like,
Mando comes in, first thing he does, he chops someone in half on the table with it. That was a good scene, man.
Yeah,
you might want to put that in ice. You're starting to smell.
But see, the crazy thing is like, and the reason why that episode was so good was for different reasons. I know the obvious one, but also for me, it was when Mando came out. Like and I've said this plenty of times, I thought it was gonna be like a bounty hunter show, dude. Like every episode, every couple episodes or something is a little arc about a bounty he's gonna go get, and you go to a different world, you go hunt down a different bounty. Like that sounds like a great show, dude. And you know, they didn't do it. I mean, at least we got to go around different places and stuff. So, and that was the same thing with Boba Fett. Like, I remember when they first said it before we saw like the preview, I thought it was going to be like a bounty hunter show. Like, okay, fine. Okay, we didn't get it with Mando. We'll get it with Boba Fett. You know what I mean? And then I saw the preview and I was like, all right, well, it doesn't really look like he's going to do bounty hunter stuff. It looks like he's going to be more like a leader or ruler or something like that. But maybe it'll still be good. You know, maybe it'd be like Mafia or something. And then we all know what that turned out to be like. So
I think the closest thing, or the closest episode we got out of, was probably from Mando season 1, where they go break out that Twi'lek from the New Republic ship, with the ones with what's his name, Mayfeld.
Oh, got it.
The first episode, like I think that was like the closest thing to like, right, he's gonna go do something bad, and like the way, like I think it was what's his name, the guy, the director, I can't remember who directed the episode. I can't think of his name. Taiti? No.
Oh, Taika Waititi, I think. Yeah.
I think he's dating Brie Aurora. Anyway, he did a great job at that, and like the just that episode was a bit more of like how I wanted the rest of Mando to be. But yeah, like you said, we just didn't get that.
I don't know. It's kind of like with the Lego sets, you know, like with the TV shows. Like there's so much in the Star Wars universe: planets, ships, characters, story arcs, mythology. You know, I mean, there's so much, dude, and they just keep staying with this little bubble of like this time frame, these characters, you know, these ships, and it's like, I get it, but like, do something more, man. Like, expand.
They're going back in time now, but to be honest, maybe they could do going back. Maybe go forward. They're going back. I think they're only going back tech because Yoda can be in it. That's my feeling. It really is, because Yoda's only going to be always going to be midlife at that point.
Yeah, he's only going to be 200 years old. But I think ultimately that's why they've introduced Grogu, is because I think they'll do this whole Mando thing up until Rise of Skywalker, and then they may jump 300-400 years where he's like established an order, and then we can go from there, and hopefully it would be nice and fresh. But yeah, it's just a bit.
It's future proofing, isn't it? That's
what it is for sure.
That's I feel like if I was in charge of Star Wars, that's definitely one direction I would want to go to, especially maybe for younger viewers too, not too young, but like just because look, imagine you have a story that takes place like 1,000 years in the future, you know what I mean? And there's a new Jedi temple and stuff like that. But like, just like how we talk about like characters that were 1,000 years before, like now Luke and them, they would be talked about in that same sense, you know what I mean? But but you can have all these new characters, man, you know what I mean? And
it'll be completely fresh, because most of the species wouldn't carry over like that far in the future. So it would be, I think that would be like insane. It would be fresh. You can pivot it around Grogu that people can like have seen before.
And if you really want it, dude, there's very interesting stories pulled from like the lore, you know what I mean? Like there's one, I can't remember his name, but it's Luke Skywalker's like great grandson or something like that, and he's hooked on like, I want to say it was what was those drugs that they took? Like he's hooked on that, but like he sees like Luke as a Force ghost trying to like help him and guide him and stuff. But I'm just saying, like there's a lot of good stuff you can pull from all that, you know what I mean? And just like, you know, and Legends and all that, you know, with Solo and Leia, like they had 3 kids, you know, they had twins, and then it was Ben, and Ben actually killed Chewbacca, and Legends. Yeah, it was pretty wild, man. And I imagine that's where they kind of pulled some of it from, you know.
I almost wish in the last movie that Ray had accidentally killed Chewbacca. I think that would have been a better.
Well, I wanted Ray to go full ham to the dark side, but that was me.
Yeah, well, that's what would have led to that quite nicely as well.
I'm always like, man, come on, like shock me, exceed expectations. You know what I mean? Like, I know they're not going to, but man, it would have been cool if Ray would have just killed everybody and and then at the end, I just wanted her sitting on the throne, kind of like like from Conan. You know, like at the end of Conan, when you're just sitting on the throne at the end. You know what I mean? Like that's how I wanted Ray to be. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I know what you mean, man.
I'm just all for empowering female characters, dude. You know what I mean? Oldendorf says, who hyped for Indiana Jones upcoming film? Maybe we could see Han Solo again. Look, man, I hate to sound negative, but no, I'm not looking forward to it at all. I didn't like the last one. Again, I think some things just need to end and end on a high note, dude.
Did you not like the Solo movie or the last prequel?
Oh, no, he's talking about Indiana Jones, though. Oh, but you just are you just asking? I liked Solo. I really did. I didn't hate it. You know what I mean?
No, I thought it was a good film.
I can see flaws and stuff. Look, it depends on how many flaws you have. You know, like with the sequels. You know, like I really enjoyed Force Awakens. But the other two, as beautiful as they were to watch on the screen, it really made my brain hurt. Watching them.
Yeah. I liked bits of them, but I mean, it was a bit like that scene when Poe shoots Kylo, and Kylo holds his laser beam in midair. I was like, "Oh, that's a good power. I've not seen that one before."
Yeah,
and you know what I mean? It was really cool. But it was really just a rehash of A New Hope. Just everything was bigger. Why everything has to be bigger, I don't know. They were pretty big in the first place.
I watched an interview that they had with George Lucas. I don't know if it was after Force Awakens or after all three of them had come out. But he was talking about how his plan for the sequel trilogy would have been something, just like how different it would be. But he was kind of saying about how he wanted to make something fresh and new, whereas Disney wanted to make something that was like vintage and like very like self-referential to what had happened before, which I think was ultimately its downfall in the end, as well as the second to like the non-planning of
yeah. So that was a funny comment, Brent. Rise of Angry Star Wars fans. General Scott says ending with Sith was awesome. I agree. Would love an animated 6 to 8 episode story of Darth Bane. Yeah, I mean, look, that's the whole thing too. Is like, man, between Darth Bane, Revan, like all of them, like there's so many badass cool characters, dude, that they could definitely make stories about. I mean, just having a live action or even an animated story of the Rule of Two would be great. The graphic novel that I had, I don't know if I still have it or not, and I just guess it's not canon anymore anyways, but it was the start of how the Rule of Two came about. And it mainly, the story revolved around what Darth Bane's apprentice, the female. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but the story revolved around her and her two cousins, and when they were young and all this and that. But it was such a good story, man. Like, and it was tragic. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean. Like, you can do Star Wars really well if you wanted to, man. As long as you don't let the hype of money and then lazy writing get in the way, because there's so many tragic tales, dude, that would make good drama, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just, for some reason, and I guess maybe it's because they gear the stuff so much toward kids. It's like Marvel. Marvel goes too heavy on comedy most of the time. I like some humor, some of it works, but other times I'm like, God, you guys don't have to make a joke like every single 5 minutes, man. You can have a serious moment, you know what I mean? Journalist Scott says Rule of Two would be a killer movie title. Yeah, it would. Actually, it would be a cool movie.
100%. It'd be great. It's a great storyline, and or animate it at the very least. That's what I think they should have done with the Solo movie. I think that would have just pleased everybody. If they just animated it.
Yeah, I see that.
I think Star Wars has got enough about, like, just visually and like sonically, there's enough about Star Wars that if you can just get a good story, it's gonna be quite enjoyable, because everything looks cool. Like they've nailed the whole aesthetic with Star Wars. Like, I don't know, just like the ships are always pretty cool. Like everyone's armor is always really cool. Like everything is so interesting to look at in Star Wars. I think that's one thing that you can't really criticize Star Wars with. Like a lot of it just looks.
One thing to say about that, Tech. One thing. I think you are 100% right. 100% right. I agree with you. That is why, for me, the Vespers stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It did not feel like Star Wars.
Yeah. I think you're spot on, because everything else is so like distinctly Star Wars, where that felt just too real, and probably in the wrong setting as well. Like maybe on Coruscant or somewhere like that, then it might have mixed in a little bit.
Coruscant, yeah, I completely would have believed it. Not on Tatooine.
Yeah,
I mean, at the very least, dirty them up.
Yeah,
like you're in a desert, dude. How are those things looking so damn clean? Like, and not only that, but aren't you supposed to be badasses? Like, I don't understand, man. Like,
yeah.
Craig's very quiet.
You're talking about Book of Boba, that's why. Here we go.
Yeah, it's kind of odd, you know, and you would think that somebody would be like, hey.
I liked a lot
like,
of it. Some of it I just thought strategically were a bit off, you know.
Dude, Boba Fett, like, I'm sorry. It was just...
the
more I look back on it, dude, I'm just like, what?
Yeah, it doesn't get
I wish they'd never done it, in all honesty. I wish, because...
Well, I wasn't cool with it really to begin with anyway. It sounded like a good thing, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, the thing that makes Boba Fett awesome is the mysterious part of him, man. I mean, I'm telling you, it's like cake. You start eating too much of something you love, you're not going to love it as much, man. It's going to make you sick. And not only and a lot of people, like, when they were talking about, like, well, you know, like, he changed because of, like, hanging out with, you know, the Tusken Raiders and this and that. And I'm like, no, dude, he changed before that. You know, and I don't know, just a lot of things, like, after you sit back and you think about what you watched after a little bit of time, and you're like, wait a minute, why in the world did he want to stay and hang out and be family with those people that kidnapped him and beat the shit out of him? Why? Like, I don't get it. You were a freaking dude, and it's not like it was a long time ago. Dude, remember in Return of the Jedi, he was at Jabba's palace, dude. He was Boba Fett. He was badass, dude. And then within like less than a month, like from him going from the Sarlacc pit to like them kidnapping him or whatever. I mean, like, you've got that and that's soft. Like, because somebody had brought up something that I didn't really realize when they first captured him and they had him tied up. You know what I mean? Next to the fire, and there was the I forget what the race of the characters are, but the Greedo character, and he was making all that noise, dude. The old Bubba would have just taken a stick and just knocked his ass out, dude. Not like, be quiet. Like, what are you talking about, dude? You're Boba Fett.
I think the worst thing about it was that, like, the little end credit thing that we got at the end of Mando was like badass Boba. He went in there, shot the place up, cold-blooded, like shot.
I know, right?
It was like, oh, this is going to be exciting. Like, this is going to be like some cool show, and then it just turned into a right melt.
And it drives me nuts too to think.
I liked the story. I liked what they were going to do with him. I just didn't like the way they did it. That's all. Slave 1 wasn't in the show as much as it should be. They should.
Why can the Sarlacc hold up? Like, can't pull Lando into the Sarlacc pit, but it can pull bloody Slave 1.
It pulled bloody Slave 1 in it.
Honestly.
Bimoto.
More chips that day. That's why.
Yeah.
I like the fact that Boba Fett falls into the Sarlacc pit, 11 stone, right, and then comes out like a day or two later, and he's like put on 4 stone or something. What was that all about? He literally rolled up the Sarlacc. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. It was a very confusing thing, and
the
again,
camera
it just
pounds.
it's just like with some of the other stuff. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on, like with the structure of the show. And that one hurt even more because that was a project of Filoni, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To where I'm like, dude, I would expected like you would have let Boba Fett like turn out to be so weak, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It was just really odd.
Get over it.
I think
Get
it's the
over it. It's
worst
fantasy,
piece of-
people. Come on, move on.
It's the worst bit of canon media that Star Wars currently has. It's worse than all the sequels. Hot take. Is that a hot take? I don't know.
Everyone
For sake's sake, we'll move on.
But everyone slagged off the prequels. Everyone at the time. It's not as good as New Hope. Now everyone's like, oh, the prequels are really good because they keep bringing out stuff that makes other things look good.
I was gonna say. At first, I was thinking maybe it's just because maybe it just aged better.
What
you know
can
what I
you-
mean?
What
But-
can you add to Book of? What can you bring out that could possibly make the Book of Boba Fett better? Like
We
what?
haven't seen Obi-Wan yet.
How's that go? Oh god!
Yeah,
Oh,
you see.
true, yeah.
Look at
Oh,
don't
You
do
see.
this to Tech. Don't do this to Tech, man. He's
Oh. I was like Hive. I was like after Book of Boba Fett, I was like, look, I'm not getting optimistic about any show ever. And then I saw that first trailer for Obi-Wan. I was like, it's happening.
well, because
I
again,
don't
like,
want to,
look,
but it's just
I'm hopefully optimistic. I'm
Look at the
not saying.
criticism it gets. Look at the criticism just the trailer gets as well. Like people going on about the Inquisitor, about the look of the Inquisitor. Watch it first. Watch the whole thing. Then bitch and moan. But don't do it before it's even landed.
mhm.
You
Well,
set
I mean,
yourself
I
up
think
for
it's because
disappointment.
I mean, unless they just didn't finish special effects before they put the trailer out, I guess, man. But
I
like,
think it's just how they wanted it. That's
think-
you've got to.
yeah, but you can't have a race of one creature look this one way
I
in Attack
know.
of the Clones or whatever, and then you do the same race of creature and he looks totally different.
You
Like
can't-
that's the problem we're having is like either
Yeah.
they don't give a shit about their own property,
No.
or they just don't, or they just
No, 'cause
they're
they're
not
making
smart enough
money.
to keep up with it.
You can't put a dustbin upside down out as a robot in an episode, but
Oh,
they did.
dude, that was completely a water bucket. A water butt. I mean, that was just.
That's the.
I was
thing.
so happy I even saw it, but once I saw it, I
But
could
even
not
but
unsee
even
it.
the bigger picture, the whole thing, it's just like with Boba Fett. I was saying before about how like why are they making an Obi-Wan show? Just to capitalize on Obi-Wan? We don't need an Obi-Wan show. He sat in a fucking desert for 30 years keeping an eye on Luke. Now you're gonna make all these Inquisitors look around for him, you know what I mean? And like make a whole nother story that makes no sense from the original trilogy, dude. Now I could be totally wrong. It might be awesome. It might make total sense, but their track record lately is not being.
Look at what came out. It's all money, 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 like you've been saying about the addiction and stuff. The straight thing you see this week from like people like Zavi is the Darth Vader Black Series helmet, the Obi-Wan Black Series lightsaber that people are going to go and buy now because it's relevant again. Because Obi-Wan and Darth Vader are back out again.
Right.
Here, come and spend your money. That's where the money is. The sequel.
I mean, because think about that. Like, how
around
many
that.
Obi-Wans and Vaders we've gotten over the years now. Now we're getting an Obi-Wan show. We're going to get more of them, you know?
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, but like, again, it's like, there's so many other things they could do. And they keep just wanting to just
Yeah, we
rehash, you know?
Star Wars definitely needs to be fresh. And
And like I said, it might be awesome. I'm hopefully, you know, it's gonna be
I am
something
as
really
well.
cool.
I am as well.
The High Republic stuff's good. I must admit, I started reading the books and I'm really impressed at how
That
Yeah, I
is
heard they were
really
really
good.
good.
I'm glad you're liking them, Craig. So I've heard that. I've heard really
Yeah.
good reviews about that.
Because
Yeah,
the
I
stuff
heard
about
it.
lore and things that I find more interesting, especially when you try and mesh it together. I mean, they've done that with Picard, haven't they? Where they've meshed stuff that we didn't know, you know, like dropping Khan's name into it all, and Strange New Worlds as well. They're doing the same sort of
That's
thing where
it,
they're,
yeah.
they're bringing in the lore that
Oh.
they've mentioned, but we don't know how those people got there or where they came from.
Strange New Worlds looks amazing. Did you spot that in Picard? Just that 1 second where he pulls out that
Yeah.
that sheet of paper or whatever. It was a folder of some sort, and it had Project Khan on it. And I was like,
Yeah.
yes, Easter egg.
Come on. By the way, I saw Oldendorf mention this earlier, but yeah, we are almost 25 minutes away from part 2 on Greg's channel.
Oh yeah.
So before we move on over there in a little bit, I'll make sure the link is in the description below so we can all jump up over there. Also, I can't remember if I said hi to Max. West Coast Bricks in the house. And Brent's also talking about how he loves Brixie again.
This is looking amazing, by the way. Can I show you what I've done so far?
Of course you can. Please do.
Look at this. Look at this. We got back to tank action going on here.
Nice.
Yeah, I need a back to tank. That's a nice looking build too, man.
Oh, you need to press them bricks down at the back. That's going to really annoy me.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, sorry. I'll have to.
I like that under interior too, because that's where the TIE fighter goes, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
All the stickers.
That's such a great build.
But look at that. Sorry, I say that was a hologram earlier on. Those nano figures are.
Other statues.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But there is supposed to be like a hidden place for a holocron, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I should get this thing before it's too out of reach.
Dude, you want to get it before Kenobi starts, otherwise.
Yeah, it's going to go. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm sure it's going to be in Kenobi.
Your life, Mustafar stuff's going to be in it.
I hope that's shown off. Yeah, that's it. Bang.
Yeah. That's what we're going to get. That's the one positive thing you got to think we're going to get out of this is that we might get some really good sets.
Well, and so, like what I just said about Kenobi part, but what I'm hoping too is like maybe we'll get some at least lore around Kenobi, you know what I mean? Like, so we get to see some other stuff, because it doesn't even feel like, honestly, Kenobi's gonna be like the main character of the show. I really feel like it's gonna be that Inquisitor lady.
I did like the tension. I mean, I know he's a good actor anyway, but like the tension between Uncle Owen and Obi-Wan, just in that trailer there, I was like, that is what I want to see, because
I'm down with that.
We've seen that in New Hope, haven't it? How much he doesn't like Luke's dad and all that stuff. Yeah, and I want to see that building.
Yeah, because people think he's just being a really grumpy old kid.
Oh my god, yeah, dude, I didn't even think about that. Like, he really did not like Obi-Wan, and you could tell in the original trilogy, like he. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense now, dude.
Yeah, man. I mean, we
look at Max says spoiler: Obi-Wan dies. Just don't tell everybody who killed him.
I think one of the reasons we got this Obi-Wan is simply down to the fact that we had a young Obi-Wan, and then we've got the older Alec Guinness version, and then of course the actor himself now is kind of growing into this older kind of style. So this is why we got him like sort of 25, 30 years on. So it's unusual.
By the way, if anybody does want to go to an adult dating site, there's one in the chat.
I hate it when text fans find it.
Phenomenal. Hey
Tinder, thanks for coming.
Look, I don't like to tell people what they can and can't do, but
yeah, if you to be fair, if you're into Lego, you're not going to be going to Tinder, are you? You couldn't be able to afford it.
I don't know about anybody else, but the one thing with Star Wars,
it's expensive if you're into Lego.
One thing with Star Wars that grates with me is that fight between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan in Episode 4, and I've seen so many people do cool remixes of it.
Yeah,
and I just think it just doesn't fit, does it, with fighting with a lightsaber? I wish they would officially redo that scene.
I agree.
I agree, actually, because that's
the one thing I did not like about George Lucas and his whole thing about the lightsabers when he was doing the movies was he wanted to be more like knights. You held this lightsaber with two hands thing, where then we get Darth Maul like spinning it around and doing flip kicks and stuff.
I know.
So much better, dude. Because if you were a Jedi, dude, you would use the Force to. It's kind of like those wars. What are they? I think they called them gentlemen's wars, when like you would just be in a line, you would just shoot. Like there was no like maneuverability. You just stood in big lines.
Who could load your gun the fastest?
Right? Yeah. But
I'll tell you the best example of that is is Count Dooku, the actor that played him, Christopher Lee. He was a swordsman.
Yeah,
and he was the
you
first.
Can tell as well.
Oh yeah, the way he holds himself and everything like that.
It's like he did the swish, didn't it, up as well?
Well, he actually, I saw an interview with him, and I can't remember what movie it was about. It might have been Star Wars, but they were talking about like how a person would die or like this, and he'd been in war, he'd seen death, and he was like, no, that's not how they would act. That's not what it looked like. You know what I mean? So that was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
to make it a little more realistic.
Yeah, and I think he's actually got. Does he hold the record, Craig, for the most films that like swashbuckling movies?
I don't know that, but I wouldn't be surprised. But the thing is, when you go back and do that and do those fights, like you said, and you get that expertise, that sword fighting in, and then in, like you said, they've this clunky fight that they do now. What makes it worse is we know we're going to see them. I know they're not supposed to have seen each other again, but they're going to somehow weave in this duel between Obi-Wan and Darth again, aren't they? And it's like, it's going to have to be pretty good, which will make that 1 in 4 even worse.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they work around that.
Like I said, man, you keep the flashbacks, I will have no problem. But, and look, I'm only going by what I've seen, you know? I'm not trying to like just make stuff up. I'm going by like the movies, you know? Like you can't, like, sure, if you want to try and get technical, you can say like, well, he meant it in this way, or it was really from this certain point of view or whatever. But dude, Vader told him like, you know, I can't remember the exact line about like, we finally meet again or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Like it's, so I agree with Craig. Like it better be good, man. Like whatever they do with it. Because you're messing with continuity, man, you know? And it's like, it's kind of like with the Rise of Skywalker, the whole thing with Palpatine and everything. It's like you completely negated the whole story arc from the original trilogy, man. You know what I mean? Like, what was the sacrifice for? Like, what was, you know, what was all that for, man? You know? And not only that, but it's like, what's the point of killing anybody? Like, if you
valued that whole scene of Vader picking him up and chucking him down that tube, did that.
Right, but it just means like Palpatine can always come back.
Yeah, it was just pointless. They didn't need to do that as well, because they just needed to make Snoke
better.
And somebody else.
Because that was the problem with that movie, right? One, the movie pace was extremely fast, and two, all of a sudden, over the course of years that I'd never heard in any of the other movies, there was this there was this kind of heartbeat throughout the galaxy of Palpatine potentially still being alive, and it was like, whoa, hold on a minute, where's that come from? That's new.
Well, it was all the first ones were all about balance, weren't they? Balance. So he'll bring balance to the Force. So he comes along, and did he bring balance? No, because it all went the other way. So even with him chucking him in the tube, couldn't have that been then the Force created another entity to create balance that would have been the plot? That they were actually fighting against the Force itself that wanted a bit of yin and yang. They could have done anything. The imagination, when they just went the easy option of going, oh no, we'll go close.
Well, now
work.
But if you really think about it, I mean, I know this is kind of stupid, but if you really think about it, the whole balancing the Force thing is such an egotistical statement, dude. Like, you're gonna balance the living Force throughout the entire universe.
But they set that up, so they need to pay it off, don't they? That's what I'm saying. That was their stupid idea. I mean, that was the worst part of the first one, wasn't it? When they introduced the midichlorians, and we were all like, what?
I remember I didn't have too much of an issue with it, but I think it's because a lot of times in the movies, when just stuff's going on, like you're not thinking about it until later on. Because I always wondered about it, you know, like how did the Force work and stuff? Like, is it magic? You know what I mean? But yeah, the midichlorian thing definitely threw a lot of people off, dude.
I didn't notice it that much. I mean, I wasn't that young when I watched it. I didn't notice it that much, but my dad was like saying to me, because he'd obviously watched Star Wars with me, and he just went, what are they on about? So I'm like, because he's got all these things in his blood, Dad. And then you think to yourself, you sound like an idiot. And my dad's just sat there going, what is he on about?
I don't know. I don't think that was necessarily like a far-fetched thing. Surely there's got to be some sort of like genetic, like biological thing that makes you so much more and they had to, and as well as like, I think they need, for that film in particular, they needed something to be able to like kind of factually say like, or like to have some basis of why Anakin was going to be.
Why didn't they get a little staff with a crocodile to a head and put it in and weigh people to see how much force they had in them? That would have worked.
Yeah. I mean, what happens to the untrained false people, the false sensitive untrained people? There's some little kid out there, or he's probably a growing up man now, going around, and he's got this party trick where he just gets a broom and pushes it towards himself. That's all he can do. I mean, what a waste that is.
Well, I really feel like, honestly, they didn't need to do it, because look, as far as I've always known, like they just detect Jedi by, you know, some little kid saw something coming in the future, or used the Force, and somebody noticed it, and they're like, "Hey, let's call the Republic," you know, and the Jedi come get them. But so that was, and then when you get the kids in, then it's not a matter of like testing their midichlorians. It's a matter of like, what can they do? You know what I mean? So if you see some 7-year-old like spinning a lightsaber around and he could take Yoda on, then clearly he might have a high midichlorian count or something. You know what I mean? So I mean, they didn't need to do it, but it's whatever. I guess.
Well, they tried to put like contextualize it, but Qui-Gon they were setting Qui-Gon up to be this living Force expert. He finds him, and then there'd be no test other than his word to say that he was the chosen one. But now they kind of counteracted that by saying, but look at his midichlorian count. He must be the chosen one. And oh well, Yoda's still not going to believe you. It's like you said, if he'd have like put him into a room and thrown these things out, they're like, oh yeah.
For instance, okay, they did a midichlorian count on him, and you know it's tested, right? Like you know, like you could see like midichlorian count like really high, right? Like I've never seen anything like this except for like Master Yoda or whatever. But what do? They still did the little test where like, you know, where they're holding up the thing and he has to guess like plane, you know, or star, or he's guessing everything at time. Like, why are you even doing that, dude? You saw his midichlorian count. Well, you don't believe it? Like, it's
I've seen that. I've seen that scene. I can't remember who did it where they're holding up the card and then he's hacked up to electrics like, and it's the Ghostbusters scene where he's zapping them. That's all I see when they hold up the card.
That's great, dude. I would love to see that.
Hive, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get ready for my stream in 10 minutes. So I'm gonna bail out.
All right.
And we'll see you. Oh,
everybody got the links, right? So we don't need new links, right?
I emailed the guys and girls earlier on, so we'll come over, guys. I'm literally gonna go and powder my face, come back, and I'll be ready. But what do you want me to do? Do you want me to come in the chat and just say, "Yep, ready for you now"? And then you pop
can.
over?
I mean, like I said, you can do that, or just if I don't see you soon enough, I'll just send everybody over there. I'm not, you know, obviously it's a transition, so I'm not worried about like right
it'll be literally 4 o'clock on the dot. I'll be there. All right.
But yeah, I'll throw the link in the chat so everybody can head on over there too.
And I just want to say two things. One, great to have Tech and Craig still with us here today. It really is. It's really special to us. So thank you so much for being here. And secondly, for everybody out there, thank you so much for being here for part 1. I'll see you in, or episode 1, I should say. We call them episodes, don't we, for these ones? Episode 2 in a moment. But also, before you go, boys and girls, do us a little favor. Give the stream a thumbs up as well. And show Hive and me some love out there. So anyway, I'll see you guys in just a minute. And like I always say, folks, may the Force be with you always.
Always. See you in a few, Greg. You know, it's so funny because I remember when I was younger, like, you know, I used to go to church more, you know, and my family was Catholic, and they'd be like, you know, peace be with you, and the other people like, also with you. And I started doing that with the Force, and I was like, may the Force be with you, and also with you. Oh man, love me some Star Wars.
It doesn't work with Live Long and Forceful, does it? No.
I tell you, man, I do love Star Wars so much, man. I think that's why, I know it sounds stupid, but I think that's why I complain about it and stuff, man. Because if I don't like something, if I don't care about something,
I don't.
Right.
Like, I don't complain that like the Barbie dolls are all. Like,
you've got plenty of them. Full size
example because I'm looking at it. But no, it's just if you don't care, like you just do it. Like I don't care. I don't care about Marvel. Like I don't really watch Marvel. The only thing I think out of the Marvel cinematic universe I've watched, other than like Captain America and Thor, the first films of those, was the Hawkeye show because I fancied Haley Steinfeld. So like I hear other people complaining about Marvel and different things that they'd like to see in that, but I just have no interest in it, so I don't really choose to complain about it. But yeah, it's because it boils down to because you care, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's just like, you know, how if a stranger like makes fun of me, man, I could care less, you know what I mean? But if somebody that I love and care about, if they make fun of me, you know what I mean? Yeah, it hurts, dude. That's because it's somebody you love and care about. You know, it's your friend or your family or something. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Let's see what's going on. Tina says yes, but Vader didn't know there was twins, so he wouldn't look for another. That's another thing too. It's kind of weird. I mean, it could be debated, but I feel like with Vader being, you know, Anakin is strong in the Force, and also knowing that, you know, even though he didn't know about twins, but he knew, you know, Padme was pregnant. I don't know, you feel like you'd be able to have some type of like connection, like you could feel their presence, man, or something, you know, even if you couldn't pinpoint it.
Well, that was the only reason that the Vader found out, was because then Luke was told, and he felt it through Luke, wasn't he?
And actually, maybe that's how the Force worked more. It wasn't until he was aware of them, then he was able to maybe feel them, because, you know, he could feel their presence like at different times afterwards, you know, kind of like how Luke and Leia could start feeling each other's.
He'd been through a lot of trauma as well, so there's a certain mental, physical thing of.
Anakin is a tragic figure, dude. Anakin is such a tragic figure, dude. I mean, like, we can talk about, like, again, some of the bad acting in the prequels or whatever, but like, there's clearly no doubt, man. Like, Anakin was just led astray in so many different ways, whether it was the Jedi, whether it was like things that happened with his mom, you know, and then, you know, just feeling betrayed, and then stuff with Palpatine. But can you imagine like how torturous it must have been, man, being in that goddamn coffin of a suit, dude, and knowing about Padme, and then your hatred for Obi-Wan, and just all these, like, he must have been so alone, dude, and like,
and suddenly
so
having
crazy.
somebody else doing your voice for you as well.
You can't even speak for yourself. I can't even talk for myself.
Where's this guy come from?
All right, so everybody, we are getting closer to the nooner to go over to Greg's. I will put the link in the chat in just 1 minute. I'm trying to figure out this last page here. This is also, I'll show everybody kind of my progress.
Nice.
So I should be able to finish the head on Greg's stream, since he'll be hosting that one. But yeah, this is a great little bust, man. I've wanted it for so long.
Yeah. The memes that have come out of that alone, in terms of like BFAB not putting through on that, have been so funny. But I'm glad you finally got it. Like, I know it's not BFAB that's anything,
dude.
Like...
I would, you know, like I was telling BFAB I was gonna put a bounty on that goddamn thing, man. So like, I was like, if he was gonna go to Chicago, I was gonna literally like pay somebody just to take him down, dude.
Oh, man. Me and Lauren just go busting through his hotel door, like.
Because I told him, I was like, if you go, just please bring it, give it to somebody, man. They'll get it to me.
Someone more reliable. Anyone.
It's like Tekka sent it to me, man, and he's across the damn ocean. Oh, BFAB, I tell you. So I just figure it's kind of like having something in the bank. Eventually I'll come across it, dude.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I feel at this point, I'm hoping he'll still give it to me at some point, man. Because if he gives me one, I'd be keeping that thing sealed. Because I'm building this one.
You've got one, and you've got one. You're going to have one built. That's going to be a tiny investment. That's your retirement,
right? I'm hoping my Aunt Beru will coast me to some retirement.
I'm really hoping we see that Vader's castle in Kenobi, because I've got 2 of them sat sealed, and if that shoots up past like maybe 300-400 quid, I ain't opening it. I don't care that much for it. It's cool, but like, I'm like, do you know what? I think I'll keep it sealed.
But
so you know something.
The impact that Amberu had on the Owen Lars figure from the Sandcrawler just went booming.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it really did have quite an effect on that, didn't it?
He's in the cabinet now. He was rattling around in a tub. I was like, oh, is he worth that much? No.
That's so funny.
He's sat smiling at me now.
It's mad how things like just so small. Like that one, I don't think anyone really predicted up until like right before. It wasn't one that I heard people talking about. Like, oh yeah, you want to get that Owen Lars figure before Baru comes out. Whereas like a lot of things now, especially considering like what we've seen with like the Clone Wars coming back and people appearing in live action and things like that. Like obviously they're the very obvious ones. Like for example, everyone knew that the Inquisitors, as soon as they appeared in that show, were going to bust up, so people went out and bought them. But seeing seeing the Aunt Beru and now seeing Uncle Owen just shoot up, I just didn't. That one didn't make sense to me. I mean, it makes sense, but I just didn't see it coming, I guess.
Even better for me because I won that set in a raffle. Cost me about £5 for the ticket.
Dude, I'm gonna be selling my Grand Inquisitor because I bought that thing for like $30. Like a couple, like I don't know, not even a couple months, it was like a month ago or something like that. The only thing is, it didn't have the lightsaber. I don't have the lightsaber with it.
Yeah.
Everybody, I'm putting the link to Greg's stream in the chat right now. It's a little early. It's like 5 minutes early still, but just so it's there. All right, there we go. Let's see what's everybody saying. Top Brick says he's back. Thank you for coming back. Actually, we're getting ready to go over to Greg's stream in just a minute. Nicole, when you got the dark side drawing, all right. Imagining a modern day tale of Vader, restraining order on Vader, maternity test to determine if both are his, sued for child support.
That's an episode of Jeremy Kyle or the Jerry Springer show that I'd watch.
He's force choking the security men as they come on.
She's like, "You are the father," and Luke's like, "No." Big Nate Bricks, what's going on, man?
Some woman in the crowd giving him jip. You ain't paying nothing. Sit down, buddy.
I do what I want. Yeah, that would be good stuff, man. That would be good stuff. I don't know. It still bothers me. Padme died from that. Because, like, you know, and like the reason why I brought it up to my dad when we left the theater, because my dad was like, "No, man," I was like, "No. Remember, the droid said we can't find anything like medically wrong with her." Like, and I was like, "What the hell, man?"
Died of a broken heart.
I mean, I guess.
Scary.
All right, let me, like I said, finish this last page, and then we can head on over to Greg's stream.
Although she had a pretty nasty encounter with him, hadn't she, before she'd gone into labor? So
yeah, and I mean, I would have been totally fine with that. Like, if the droid was like, "Yeah, her trachea like broke."
Yeah.
Just can't get enough oxygen or something. You know what I mean? Because that would have actually worked.
Yeah, that'd have been
like if something happened where you just couldn't get, like, it would be a slow death because you're just not getting enough oxygen. Eventually, you know, it would just, especially if you had two kids on top of it. But
yeah, and going before the kids were there, so she didn't actually see them, because that would give her fight to live, wouldn't it? If she'd seen her children,
and that's a very
fight,
and that's a very actually realistic possibility, man. You know, like as a parent, I can tell you right now, you know, Craig can probably speak for the same. Like, if you had to lift up a car to save your kid, like, you'd probably be able to do it.
Snapping your back to do it,
yeah. But it is amazing, you know. Like, it's not even on even the same level as like just normal family, man. Like, your kids, you're protective over. You would fight to live for your kids, you know. So yeah, I could definitely see that being part of it. All right, everybody. Like I said, it's still 2 minutes early. I don't know if he's actually got the stream up yet, but I know it's coming. So yeah, I do want to say real quick, I appreciate, you know, Craig and Tech and Solo for being on here earlier. I know we had a couple other people that I think are going to be joining on Greg's stream. I'm not 100% sure yet who's definitely coming or not, but good times. And obviously I appreciate everybody on the chat. It's always good getting to converse with all of you and get everybody's opinions about stuff. And then, you know, I appreciate everybody listening to me, you know, bitch about shit. So, all right, so we'll go ahead and cut this off. We got like basically less than 60 seconds till Greg's stream is supposed to start. So we will go over there and continue our 3-year anniversary.